Captain's log, stardate 3198.4. We have reached Organia and established standard orbit. No signs of hostile activities in this area.
Thank you for your altruistic offer, Captain.
We offer you protection.
We assure you that we are in absolutely no danger.
Out of the way, Organian.
Should one Klingon soldier be killed, 1,000 Organians will die.
What are the odds now?
Less than 7,000 to 1, Captain.
Less than 7,000 to 1. Well, getting better. Getting better.
It has begun.
What'll it be, boys? And don't ask for Ractigino. If I have to say we don't carry that one more time.
Ractigino?
The Klingons.
Klingons?
Over there and over there.
Warning, Klingon tractor beam engaged. Captain Lorca was captured.
We will find him.
Where are we?
A Klingon prison vessel. Prepare to jump.
I don't know how much more the creature can sustain.
I gave you an order.
You seek glory. But glory must be earned through sacrifice.
Stick with me. I'm a survivor, just like you.
Star Trek Discovery. New episodes Sundays.
Those are Klingons?
All right. You boys have had enough.
Mr. Worf?
On the next episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, passion has its price.
Are you my father?
Why did you not tell me?
A dark past threatens a new generation.
He would be an outcast. Another traitor from a family of traitors.
And when Klingon pride is wounded,
As my son, he would also bear my disgrace.
Lieutenant Worf must avenge his family honor on Star Trek The Next Generation.
They are Klingons. And it is a long story.
What happened? Some kind of genetic engineering? A viral mutation?
We do not discuss it with outsiders.
During Adventure, Enterprise, the first flagship of the Federation. These are her last voyages. These are the final episodes. Next Friday.
Your ships are now the property of the Klingon Empire.
They've captured a crewman.
Came to get my doctor back.
We need him here. They've infiltrated the ship.
You endangered every member of this crew.
And soon, they'll have the captain. An all-new Star Trek Enterprise. UPN next Friday at 8, 7 Central.
The greatest Klingon warrior of all time returns.
I want you to have a place at my side as we restore honor to our people.
But Worf is trapped between two leaders.
It will be glorious.
It will be war.
Now, he must stop a battle for supreme power.
We are Klingons!
To save the entire Klingon Empire from civil war. Next time on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Wednesday on UPN.
It's Klingon.
A mysterious relic
Whatever you experienced, it wasn't real. It was real to me.
unleashes an ancient evil.
Captain!
An all-new Voyager.
Where am I?
As the barge of the dead. Once they were savage warriors, born to conquer until they found peace. Now, they've returned to the old ways. The Klingons are back, and one gallant warrior must stand with them or against them. Starfleet's boldest hero, Worf, faces his ultimate test. On the next Star Trek Deep Space Nine. UPN next Wednesday. The Accused. I am not your enemy. The charges.
He has committed an act of war!
The verdict.
Death!
A Klingon tribunal brings Enterprise to its knees.
A rescue attempt is out of the question.
A powerful all-new Enterprise. Judgment. UPN next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
Ambassador, it is my honor to welcome you aboard the USS Enterprise.
Other Klingons call him the Butcher of Jagal.
The Federation believes everyone deserves a second chance.
No, he's pretending.
Sometimes you pretend something long enough, it becomes the truth.
War doesn't leave you. It can bury itself, but it's always there.
All of us have to remember what we love most. We fight for them, but if we don't fight, we don't win.
Ah, yes. If you can't tell, I really enjoy those dumb TV promos, and they don't seem to get claimed. So I'm like, okay. But
that's fascinating. They don't get claimed. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, you can have fun with them. But yeah, no, I have a lot of fun with them. And if you can tell from that, the theme of this episode is, of course, going to be Q. We're going to discuss our favorite Q episodes.
Woo!
It's into, oh boy, John Delancey just nails it every time, doesn't he? Well, maybe not Picard season 2, but
we don't talk about that though.
Listen, we're not going to worry about that. But no, the theme for this episode obviously is Klingons. Lindsay, this was your idea, and I love this one, by the way. It's a big one. This might be our biggest episode yet. This is a big one. Lindsay, you want to go over your thoughts on creating this?
Well, I'm just trying to think, like, what could even get close to it? Maybe if we did like every Vulcan episode or something like that.
I actually don't think the Vulcan episodes would be quite as big,
right? Like Klingons are. No, yeah. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when there's a Klingon episode, it's usually a Klingon episode. Like, there's lots of Vulcan stuff that's scattered throughout there, but like it's rarely the focus.
Yeah, no, 100%. So unless we decide to do like every episode of like Voyager or something like that, this will probably be our biggest episode for a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
And I this is what I've wanted to do for a minute, partially because one of the episodes that we saw today, we're going to talk about today, I saw get at least a couple scenes of it get shot because a family friend of mine guest starred on it. But also, who doesn't love Klingons? So I just wanted to talk about Klingons. Just those two things just kind of came together, and let's have some fun, guys.
Absolutely. And we'll be going over the episodes in production order, which I think is more interesting, because otherwise it's timeline order, in which case we'd be watching the Enterprise stuff and then the Discovery stuff and then the original series. It would get so fucking confusing. And it actually makes way more sense watching it in production order, because you can see the evolution of the Klingons that way.
Or the de-evolution when we get to certain things, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will. Yes, de-evolution, and then kind of return to form. Definitely a couple episodes. But this is the tier list we're looking at, and let me go ahead and share this in chat. I meant to share it in the description box, but I forgot, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in chat. If you guys want to go ahead and go over it. It's a big one. But this is, I tried to get all the prominent Klingon episodes in order. Some of these and it's also worth noting, we didn't thoroughly watch all these. We had like an abbreviated one with the important Klingon episodes. But the list I've shared and that I have up here is like pretty much all of them. So, some of these we didn't really focus on. There's one of these I was going over and I was like, oh wow, I barely remember that one. But yeah, that was the thing that happened. But we're mainly going to be focusing on the big ones. With further ado, do we want to get started?
I'm excited, man. Let's hop into this stuff. Let's do it.
So the very first Klingon episode, and this is a wild one because it doesn't feel like the first Klingon episode, which I think helps with like when they do the prequel stuff. But the season 1 episode of the original series, Errand of Mercy. And when you're watching it, especially at the beginning, it does not feel like the first Klingon episode. Like they're talking about having peace relations with the Klingon. They're trying to have some sort of talks. They're concerned about our war breaking out, which we see elements of the war actually later in this list. But they're concerned about breaking out a new war. And then we get introduced to the Klingons. And the main Klingon we get introduced to is Kor, who is in the little thumbnail I have here, who I kind of really dig. He essentially you end up with this planet that's like central to the conflict between the Federation and the Klingons. And they both bring their emissaries there to try to talk these Organians into joining with their side. The Organians are like, you know what? We're good guys. We don't need you guys. but yeah, they're like, no, don't work. The Federation is of course Kirk and Spock, and like, don't work for Klingons. They're totalitarians. And then the Klingons are like, yeah, we're just gonna conquer you. We don't give a shit. But there is overall a twist I haven't gotten to with this episode. Listen, is this like one of my all-time favorite episodes of the original series? No, but like I still kind of feel like it deserves an S tier because it is really fucking good. It just establishing the Klingons, it's fantastic. But I've dominated this enough. Your guys' thoughts?
Honestly, I agree with you. Like, it introduces Kor, who comes back so many times, and he's like a completely different character. And it's John Coleos, or
he kind of vibes the same, but yeah, there's definitely difference just because they've changed the Klingons so much between this and his next appearance.
It's night and day difference. But like this performance, he is not phoning it in here. He is definitely like, I will kill all of you if you don't give me what I want. And like one of the culminating moments of this episode is Spock and Kirk do like a suicide charge at a Klingon base with like 300 Klingons in it. And so like it's hype. There's some incredible performances. It's iconic. The ending is like the most Star Trek ending in a while I've seen. Like I was giggling with this ending. I hadn't seen this episode in a long time, so I sort of remembered how it ended, but I didn't 100% remember how it ended. I love this one. Definite S tier.
It's a very TOS episode.
Yes.
It introduces a lot of cool ideas. And then of course we have like the shiny robe magical space people, you know. They where they were just better than us all along.
Yes.
And it's a very classic TOS episode without like the obvious sexism.
Yeah.
So you know,
that's definitely on.
You gotta give it some credit.
Yeah, and just for the 60-year-old spoiler here, the big twist is that the Organians are not even humanoids. They're so far evolved. They're presenting as humanoids for us so we can understand them, but they're so far evolved that like we can't even harm them. Like they're like, yeah, you're not conquering this planet, and we can stop you if we really want to.
And
saying.
And having them just not explain anything the entire time and then reveal themselves at the end, I feel is the most TOS thing ever. I really like a personal highlight that I think of this. I really like the dynamic between Kor and Kirk.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
So, did you want to add anything else?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would put it in S.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. This is an S tier.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like the moment when all the Klingons disappear and we never really find out what happens to them. When it seems like 300 Organians get murdered, but then they just weren't. Like this episode goes places, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. 300 Organians pretend to be murdered, and they're just like, "Well, I don't get why you guys are so concerned about us." Okay,
like Kor's like, yeah, if you like, what they have like Kirk and Spock, and Kor's like, if you don't give us back Kirk and Spock, we're just gonna kill like 100 Organians every hour, and just a couple hours pass, and the Organians are like, yeah, we don't care, we don't. And Kirk and Spock are like, the fuck, why are you people fighting? Yeah, this is overall just a classic episode, and like you kind of get part of it. The actor who plays Kor, like John Colicos, I want to say. I think it was said earlier by someone who's much better with names with me, but. Part of what makes the Klingons iconic is his performance and his exchanges with Kirk. It's kind of a shame you don't get a bit more of that throughout the series, but we do get more Klingons in the original series. Next up, which is a bit more minor role, this was on our main list. It's Friday's Child. Did you see this one, Lindsay?
This is one of the ones that I missed, unfortunately. We had too many lists flying around.
Dude, it's a huge list. So I had to do an abbreviated list. And by the way, the abbreviated list is still fucking huge. But Friday's Child is essentially that so there's this planet of like really fucking tall people, but like they're not all that tall. No, that when it's they're describing it, they're really tall people. And then they go down there and it's like they don't seem all that unusually tall, but okay, whatever. And one of them kind of looks like Will Ferrell, and he teams up with a Klingon to overthrow the government. The government was going to align with the Federation, but the Klingon gets the Will Ferrell-looking guy and gets him to overthrow the government and kind of align with Klingons, and there's kind of this violent revolt. The Klingons are kind of just there causing mischief, but like, and we'll get in our episode about that pretty soon. But it doesn't really add too much to them. I think this was their first episode. They might have been one and done.
I do think
but yeah,
it's really funny how much they stressed how tall they are, because like they are tall, but like not in like an unreasonable they must be alien kind of way. They're like, I want to say like 6 inches to a foot taller than average.
I want to say the average man's like just over 6 foot, and the average woman's like in the high 5 feet. That's it. It's like, okay, it doesn't like they do make a big deal. Oh, these people are giant, and then you go on down there, but it's like they're just taller than average.
Wait, this is hilarious. Okay, so I'm 6'3". Would I be considered one of these aliens? Would Kirk just like look at me and be like, not human?
Yes.
6'3"?
I'm 6'3". Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Which
I don't know why I wasn't imagining he was being that tall.
No, I think we discussed it, and he's about the same height as Jonathan Frakes, right? Something like that.
Oh, funny. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And fun fact, I'm about the same height as Brent Spiner.
I want to say I'm about the same height as wait, no. This is gonna be wrong. I need to look this up before I say
But Ashley and we're the only ones that saw this. I feel this is kind of a B tier. It's fine, but it's not like
it's okay. It's a real thing. It's a real thing that existed.
Yeah. Okay. D tier.
Yes.
Okay. Well, while she looks that up, our next episode, I don't know if anybody's heard of this one. This is an obscure original series episode that no one's ever heard of. The third appearance of the Klingons is a little episode called Trouble with Tribles? Something like that. I think it's French. Something like that. No, it's the Trouble of Tribbles. Yeah, so this is the third appearance of the Klingons. We meet Koloth, who will become noteworthy later, who's kind of the lead Klingon guy here. Essentially, there's this important space station that has a whole bunch of fucking grain on it. Klingons want to hang out there. Kirk is like, I kind of don't give a fuck, but then Starfleet orders him to hang out there, and he's like, okay, fucking fine. They deal with these tribbles there. They deal with tribbles that pop up there, and they're reproducing all over the place. I feel like most everybody who's seen the original series has seen this one, and honestly, this isn't actually a terrible episode to start out with if you just want something fun and you've never seen the original series. But I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy this one. Is it too early doing our S tier? Because I feel like there's no other spot for this. But what do you guys think?
Well, I think just in terms of how iconic this episode is, S is definitely in the running here. It is an extremely silly episode, but like kind of in a good
enjoy
way.
How silly it is. Yeah,
right.
Most of it. Most comedy kind of works. Yeah, to this day, it still is kind of funny.
Right? It is basically just a straight comedy episode. And
absolutely.
You kind of mentioned it earlier, but it cannot be stressed enough how much of this episode is spent discussing wheat. There is at least a third of the episode they're just talking about quadra. Oh, I actually practiced it. Can I still do it? Quadra defecate. God damn it. Quadra septa. I can't do it. I actually legitimately did practice it. Go ahead.
Something like that, man.
Wheat.
Yeah,
it's just wheat. It's wheat. Yeah. And they spend so much time discussing it, and it is integral to the plot. Like if you don't know what a tribble is, somehow tribbles are just constantly reproducing. But when they're on a ship full of wheat, I'm going to keep pronouncing it like that because I'm enjoying it. They just eat all the wheat, and then they just start multiplying, and then there's tribbles everywhere.
But it's okay because they're adorable and they purr.
They do purr quite a bit. Also, is this one of the longest fist fights in the original series? Because it just kind of keeps going.
Yeah, that bar fight was on for a hot minute. Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, it's iconic. It's fun. Oh, and just to go back, Jay Bird was referencing Friday's Child when he talks about McCoy slapping a pregnant woman, which absolutely happens in that episode. Yeah, I forgot about too, but yes. Yeah, he gets in a romance with her, which is it's an episode. It's not necessarily a bad episode, but it exists. It's not a highlight either. But yeah, Trouble Tribbles, classic, iconic episode. S tier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my update.
Yes.
I was going to say that I was the same height as Nichelle Nichols, so Uhura, but I'm not. I'm taller than her.
Oh.
I am the same height as both of the actresses, though, that have played T'Pring.
Oh, interesting.
There you go.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
By the way, Strange New Worlds T'Pring is much cooler than original series T'Pring.
The way that half the viewers left when I said that.
Oh, shoot. You're kicking people out. We are not talking about T'Pring in this stream. Our topic will be T'Pring.
Why are we talking about T'Pring?
So next appearance of the Klingons, and for reference, for the original series, I literally include all the appearances of the Klingons, and some of these are quite minor. So this one wasn't a major episode, although we watched it for another stream earlier, A Private Little War, where essentially Klingons, it's suspected that the Klingons are giving weapons to this people, and the Federation has already made peace with another group of people, and the Klingon group is fighting with the Federation group. But they're kind of a more primitive people, so they don't really know about the Federation or the Klingons, but the Klingons are giving them more advanced weapons, give them an edge, which forces Kirk to kind of follow suit. This episode also includes the Mugatu, which is a really goofy-looking space creature that attacks both Kirk and Spock and looks insanely goofy. And if you've seen Starfleet Academy episode 3, the mascot for the War College's team is a Mugatu. So yeah, more recent reference to this episode in that series.
I better hope so.
I mean, I'll be honest. For me, this is an A tier. I don't think it's a great episode, but I think it's a good, like, if you want like all the good and bad in an original series episode, this is it. It's got your sexism, it's got your political conversation, it's got your drama, it's got your moral discussions. Overall, like, I think this is a good encompassing of the original series. What do you guys vote? What do you think of this one?
Me, I feel like I might move it down to a B,
Mhm.
but the sexism is just really distracting to me when I watch it.
Yeah. It's the original series episode. There's usually decent amount of sexism.
I know. It's just like there's so many things happening in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to be a little harsher and say drop it down to a C, just because like there's that scene where she's like curing Kirk, and
she's like rubbing that rubber crap on him.
And it just keeps going, man.
Oh, yeah,
like this, like we talked about the fist fight in Troubles with Tribbles.
Yeah,
very good approximation, Shalene. But I feel like this healing scene goes on for almost as long as the fist fight did. But the Mugatu is iconic. The whole
fun,
it's just so cheesy, but you love it, and like the whole thing about like the Klingons trying to arm these guys, so we're gonna try and arm them is like so tied into like how various political powers mess with wars around the world. So I'm okay with a B. I can settle with that. I'll upgrade from a C to a B.
Okay, I think I like it more than you guys, but yes, I can live with a B as well, because it's not a perfect episode, which I think is why it kind of, for me, encapsulates the original series so well, because like the original series is not perfect. But
I mean, honestly, that might be part of the reason I have it more in the middle, is because I feel like it is in so many ways kind of like a very standard TOS episode.
True. Well, next up is we're heading into season 3, original series. This is Day of the Dove, first appearance of it's Klang, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Klang.
I believe you.
Yes. I'm brain farting on the actor's name, but like he honestly has a very iconic voice, which helps.
Oh wait, it's Kang, not Klang.
It's
right?
Kang. Okay, Kang.
Yeah,
Okay, that sounds more
that
correct.
sounds
Yes.
correct.
Yeah. But this is essentially the Klingons and the Federation at war. We learn that the Klingons killed Chekhov's brother. We learn all these other facts about this bad blood between the Klingons and the Federation, except we start learning that all of it's kind of bullshit. They're all being manipulated by this force. And it's almost kind of weird. Like watching this, I almost feel like we have an alien that does misinformation, like bring it to just modern day terms, which wasn't that as prominent back then, but it's such a big deal now. It's impossible not to relate that.
Yep.
Alien just pushing misinformation and making people believe things that's complete bullcrap, and forcing Kang and Kirk to go at odds, and Kang even to attempt to take over the Enterprise. Fun factoid: this is also the first episode where we see a Klingon woman.
Mm-hmm.
We see Kang's wife in this. This is decent. Season 3's really hit and miss, but this one leans a bit more on hit, in my opinion. I'm going with A, but what do you guys think of this episode? What would you guys vote?
I would probably go with A too. I had like one issue with this though that kind of bothered me. They kept on showing the alien force, and I remember it was just like this green
glowy dot
thing or whatever. But like I just like I feel like it would have been so much better if they just like didn't show the mysterious alien light thingy every 5 seconds, giving it more intrigue. And then I'm just like, oh yeah, it's like an energy beast, of course the energy beast strikes again,
Yeah. My other issue with this episode is the blackface.
Okay, yeah, I actually meant to bring that up. Like the makeup, I feel like got the worst in this episode.
Yes.
Like the Klingons felt like they were doing blackface in this one, whereas before it just like they were shaded, but like didn't feel like full-fledged blackface. This is the only one that feels like fucking blackface, and it is not a good look.
Yeah.
Errand of Mercy looked a lot better than this one did in terms of the makeup. It is a very fun episode. I like how it kind of ends with everyone just kind of laughing and being friends at the alien as it just kind of just goes away. That's kind of a nice little ending. But it's so distracting. Every time there's a Klingon on screen, I'm just looking at the makeup. So I don't know about putting this one highly on the list, but it is fun for what it is as a poorly aged relic from the 70s. But there's something to it.
From the 70s?
Oh, 60s or whenever it came out.
Okay. Yeah, it says like 69, I think. Actually.
Okay. I will say I do think it was a very good move and obviously I get that budget concerns, but I think it was a very good move to make the Klingons considerably less humanoid in the future, because we still kind of have that aspect of like the vast majority of the Klingon actors that like a lot of the Klingon actors that you see do to some extent have like sort of like tanned or darkened skin makeup wise, but they're so far away from how people look that it doesn't feel like blackface, because it doesn't feel like they're trying to look like people of any race.
I'll be honest, this is the only episode of the original series that features the Klingons where it genuinely does feel like blackface.
That's a
so where would you guys put this one?
I know you guys are high on it, so A's okay, but it's a low A. It's a low A for me.
Okay. I can live with a low A.
We can put a low A.
Okay, so this was one that wasn't on the list. So I can summarize this episode really quickly, and it's almost fucking comedy. You did see this one though, I know, Ashley, but this episode, Elan of Troyes. It's actually, this is the final appearance of the Klingons in the original series. You might notice there's another episode on here, and we'll get to that one because that was an interesting factoid. That one was on the list, but this one is literally.
Oh wait, no, I have.
Yeah, this is Taming of the Shrew with Kirk and this alien woman that they need to make peace with, and while that is going on, the Klingons are attacking.
Yeah.
That is it.
This episode was so bizarre.
Oh God. Like, to a degree, I appreciate it for just being original series cheese. Like, it's not like dreadfully boring or anything, but I don't know if I'd call it good.
Yeah, I don't think I would call it good.
I'm going C on this one.
I think that C is respectable. It's not like unwatchable.
There's much worse original series episodes. Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, oh my goodness, peak Trek. You gotta watch this.
No, this one is very dated. You want to talk about the sexism in a private little war? The Lawn of Troy is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Very, very taming. True.
Kirk is teaching a woman how to be a woman.
Oh.
Like, God damn it.
Oh, I'm sure there's nothing wrong in that at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure that goes wonderful. Yeah.
Fun fact, still not the most sexist Star Trek episode.
Nope.
Didn't she like keep on like throwing crap?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
She kept on throwing stuff. Every time we saw her, she was like, oh, and I was like, oh my God. Bro.
And yeah, this one isn't key because the Klingons are just being a nuisance outside while the main storyline's going on, essentially. So our final original series episode actually doesn't feature any Klingons and also introduces Kahless. And Kahless is a character in this, but he's not actually Kahless, but he is, and he's in this. And
it's Abraham.
Oh yeah, and yeah. Also,
spoilers.
The thumbnail. This is the episode with Abraham Lincoln in it, which is just like if you're looking for raw. Like, okay, so I guess I'll go over the story real fast before I go over my thoughts. But this is so like there's this alien planet and wants to pick good versus evil, and for good it chooses Kirk, Spock, Abraham Lincoln, and then this sage Vulcan dude. I don't remember his name. He's probably referenced later. And then for evil, it's
I remember Genghis Khan was
there.
there.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Some genetically engineered dude from the eugenics wars who was super evil. I think he's referenced later in Star Trek. Kahless, and then I don't remember the other one. But if they have to fight each other to choose who is stronger, good versus evil, and there's a mud creature that is forcing them to fight. And this episode is actually. This isn't the worst episode of Star Trek, but it's pretty bad in my opinion. It's not good, but it does introduce Kahless. So without having any proper Klingons in this episode, it introduces one of the key figures in Klingon mythology.
Yep. Like,
holy shit! Like we're introducing Klingon religion in this episode.
Yeah.
This is a low C or high D for me.
Yeah.
This isn't one of the worst, but it's bad. It feels like potentially good idea, but doesn't really explore it well at all. They just end up fighting and killing each other. It's like, okay, whatever. You guys take over.
Yeah, I think that I'll say I think it's less funny than Elon of Troy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually less entertaining than that one.
Yes.
I think that's, yeah.
It's a real episode. Can we talk about the fact that Genghis Khan appears multiple times in TOS?
True. He appears at least twice, doesn't he?
Why is
right.
Someone on the writing team was like, yeah, Genghis Khan. I'm very intrigued.
In case you're wondering, the art episode is Shore Leave, where we learn that one of Sulu's greatest passions is finding a gun under a rock.
And also getting chased by
gets chased by Genghis Khan. Oh. I don't understand. But yeah, that episode's not Klingon related at all. But like
the glimpses we get into Sulu's mind.
But on the Savage Curtain.
Yes.
Lindsay, what do you think of this one? Oh, did we lose him? He seems very still. That's not a good sign.
Lindsay.
Oh dear. Are we still live? I'm not seeing anything on our side. I think we're still live.
Can you hear me?
I don't think he can. Yeah. We'll give him a moment to give him his thoughts. But yeah, Savage Curtain.
Savage Curtain's it's an episode. Yes.
It's a bat crap episode. That's the biggest credit I can give it. It is like it's got Abraham Lincoln and Kahless fighting each other, good versus evil. It is insane, as the original series frequently is. Yeah, it is absolutely wild.
Yeah, it's an episode of
that exists.
Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan.
Yeah, Genghis Khan.
He was a real guy.
Yeah,
he was a real guy.
Actually, let me see if I can look up all the characters that appear in this, because you know what, we've given people some of them.
What if I just started reciting the Wikipedia page for Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan in Star Trek. Okay, I'm gonna do Savage Curtain good versus evil teams. That's what it is. It's like teams of good versus evil. Okay. Team good, Kirk, Spock, Abraham Lincoln, Surak of Vulcan. Evil, Colonel Green, that's the eugenics guy. Kalis, the unforgettable, Kalis. Genghis Khan and Zora of Tiburon. I don't know who Zora of Tiburon is. A female tyrant who performed unethical chemical experiments on her people.
Okay. Genghis Khan, also known as Chinggis Khan, was the founder and first Khan of the Mongol Empire. After spending most of his life uniting the Mongol tribes,
You're getting an education, guys.
he launched a series of military campaigns, conquering large parts of China and Central Asia.
Good to know. Good to know.
This is him.
Sure, why not? Sure.
Genghis Khan was born, I'm going to say that wrong, Temujin, between 1155 and 1167 as the eldest child of Yasuke, a Mongol chieftain of the Borjigin clan, and his wife, Hoalun. When Temujin was 8, his father died and his family was abandoned by its tribe. Reduced to near poverty, Temujin killed his older half-brother Batur to secure his familiar position. His charismatic personality helped to attract his first followers and to form alliances with 2 prominent steppe leaders named Jamuka and Togrul. They worked together to retrieve Temujin's newlywed wife Borta, who had been kidnapped by raiders. As his reputation grew, his relationship with Jamuka deteriorated into open warfare. Temujin was badly defeated in circa 1187 and may have spent the following years as a subject of the Jin dynasty. Upon re-emerging in 1196, he swiftly began gaining power. Togrul came to view Temujin as a threat and launched a surprise attack on him in 1203. I read that as 2013 initially, and I was like, no, he didn't.
Okay, real quick, let me jump in real fast because Jay Bird over here brings up how both Surak and Colonel Green, who are introduced this episode, I'm pretty sure both. Actually, Colonel Green might be mentioned in our episode. I don't remember, but they both appear in Enterprise. Surak we see in the Forge, which that's a pretty good one. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember if Surak was the one that mind melded with Archer and got his Katra in him. It might be, which was a pretty big role. The other thing is Colonel Green, who is the guy who was Peter Weller in the not the penultimate storyline in Enterprise, was watching as kind of like his religious figure. We have Lindsay here, but I don't know if he is here.
You see what you've done? I'm not going to get to read any more of Genghis Khan's Wikipedia page.
Is he here? Did I add him or not? I saw him briefly, but he doesn't appear to be moving. Is he back?
Are you here? Is he okay? Temujin regrouped and overpowered Togrul after defeating the Navid tribe and executing Jamuka. He was left as the sole ruler on the Mongolian steppe. Temujin formally adopted the title Genghis Khan, the meaning of which is uncertain. At an assembly in 1206, carrying out reforms designed to ensure long-term.
Are you there, Lindsay? I see you. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is there a lag, maybe?
Carrying out reforms designed to ensure long-term stability. He transformed the Mongols' tribal structure into an integrated meritocracy dedicated to the service of the ruling family. Hello,
guys. The only podcast dedicated to Genghis Khan.
Okay, wait, can you guess?
Oh, wait. Are you coming?
Jeremy?
Okay, yeah. Are you there? Might be a bit of lag with Lindsay.
Okay.
Okay, Lindsay, if you get a moment, just spit out your thoughts on Savage Curtain.
Genghis begins to consolidate his power. In 1209, he led a large-scale raid into the neighboring Western Shah. Please just interrupt me when you can talk. Who agreed to Mongol terms the following year. He then launched a campaign against the Jin dynasty, which lasted for 4 years.
We might go ahead and move on and let Lindsay catch up a little bit. So I put this in CD, but I'm going to leave it here until Lindsay is able to give us an actual vote. You want to talk about more troubles, Ashley?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me if I wanted to talk more about Genghis Khan.
That's true. We are the only podcast dedicated to Genghis Khan. I'm just saying.
The Genghis Khan cast.
So our last, I think this is our last appearance of Klingons for the original series crew before we get to the movies. This is the animated series episode, More Troubles, with Cyrano Jones, who's in the original Tribbles, coming back, this time with Pink, ranking the top 50 conquest. Yes. We're going to be asking a key question. Who's the better Khan? Noonien Sun or Genghis?
The correct answer is obvious.
Yes. Well, only one of those had Sulu dreaming about him being chased.
Exactly.
Anyways, more Tribbles. We get introduced to Pink Tribbles, which I guess was done to make them a bit more differentiated. We get the return of Koloth, although this time he's voiced by James Doohan instead of the original actor. This is fine. This episode doesn't thrill me, but it's kind of innocent. I don't know. It hits a lot of the greatest hits of the original episode, but it doesn't really contribute anything excitingly new. It's fine. What are your thoughts, Ashley?
I honestly don't really remember this one that much at all. I kind of remember thinking that it was was just kind of bland.
Yeah.
It was kind of like they had sort of done Trouble with Tribbles again, but it wasn't as cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I feel like that's a respectable spot.
Okay. So the next one is actually barely on this list. I put it on here because it is important to Klingons, but is barely a footnote in Klingon history. It's Star Trek: The Motion Picture. What makes this one important is that this is literally the first time where we see Klingons with the head ridges. That's it.
Yeah.
And the first Klingon we get to see on here is actually played by Mark Leonard, aka Sarek, aka Spock's dad.
I feel like this should just have its own tier.
Yeah,
because it's not really.
It's not a Klingon story. We see the Klingons very briefly. It's a cool story. It's a little sluggish, but I don't hate the original motion picture, but it's not the highlight of the franchise.
You just have another tier and it just says we have ridges now.
Yeah. If I'm ranking this on overall quality, it's maybe low A, high B. If I'm looking at it as a Klingon thing, it's D, but it's D or S because it's important to Klingon history, but it's also kind of irrelevant. We don't really get a whole lot of Klingon stuff until the next movie, which is Search for Spock. Yes. Unfortunately, there's no Klingons in this, so I don't even know why it's on here. Yes. No, this is our first introduction of not just the Headridge Klingons, but the Headridge Klingons as major characters. Played by Christopher Lloyd and John Larroquette, which is fun trivia. I kind of dig Christopher Lloyd as a Klingon. He kind of works. After a little bit, you kind of forget it's Christopher Lloyd, even though the voice stands out every once in a while. He commits to it. He's gonna be a Klingon bastard in this. But anyways, the story is Spock's dead after Star Trek II. Spoilers for Star Trek II. I know, it's shocking.
How dare you?
Spock is dead. So the Enterprise crew shoots his body off. It lands on the Genesis planet. They leave it. And then Sarek essentially is like, hey, you weren't supposed to abandon him. Oh, hey, it looks like we might have Lindsay back. So we'll get his thoughts on a couple episodes here while we get caught up.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Oh my God, you're actually here. Yes.
You missed
Okay.
the best part of the episode. I was reading from the Genghis Khan
Yeah.
Wikipedia page for an extended period of time.
Listen, we've changed the entire. This is now the Genghis Khan podcast. We'll be talking about that, and maybe even discussion about who is the best Khan, Noonien Singh or Genghis.
Oh God! I mean,
there is a correct answer.
There are YouTube channels that are nothing but just reading Wikipedia articles. Maybe we need to become the next one of those. Like,
that sounds exciting.
I was like really close to the microphone and talking like really softly.
Okay.
Genghis Khan was.
We kind of gave our thoughts on the next couple entries, but I left them down here so you can give your thoughts, Lindsay. So, Lindsay, thoughts on the Savage Curtain?
Well, I love that the Savage Curtain was on my mind when there was a lot of discussion a few weeks ago on Twitter about whether or not Star Trek has ever been cringe or weird or odd. I'm just like picturing Abraham Lincoln in space going, "Hello, Enterprise, I am Abraham Lincoln."
Hovering in space on their view screen in a chair, being like, "Hi, I'm Abraham Lincoln." It's like, yeah.
So this isn't a good episode, but I think it's iconic because, like, I think Futurama has made fun of this episode multiple times, and it's like it's just kind of goofy and weird. I don't want to put this above B, but I also don't want it to go into D. I don't know where you guys are thinking on this one, but like it's just so silly, and I love how like you kept talking about before I lost my internet how this is how we meet Kalis. Which is wild, and I think Sirach is a pretty important character for not Klingons, for Vulcans going forward too. So there's a lot of important things in here, even if the episode itself is Abraham Lincoln in space.
So I was voting for high D, low C. Ashleen, what was your vote?
I guess
I can live with C.
C.
Yeah. I mean, I said low C. Yeah, let's go C. It's C not a good episode. Works. It's not one of the worst, though. I mean, there are worse episodes of the original series, even. And then More Trouble, More Tribbles, the animated series episode. What was your thoughts?
It's just weird and silly. I love like the Klingons have this like gun that just disables starships, but there's still a war going on somehow. They're talking about wheat again, and like now the tribbles are getting bigger. So I guess there is more troubles because there's more of the tribbles to go around. It's a weird one, but I enjoy. I continue to. I haven't watched all of the animated series yet, but I do understand. I enjoy it. I understand maybe why it didn't do so well because the animation quality isn't great at times. But
it's rough.
It's fun.
They do some wild stuff in there that they can't do in the original series. But yeah, there's also lots of cost cutting measures. Like there's no space suits. Whenever they beam to a planet, they have these individual force fields. That way, they can just use the same character model, but with just a line drawn around them.
And isn't this the episode the first time we see I can't remember what they're called, but Saru from Discoveries, his species, because one of them's like on the comm or something like that. Isn't that
it's a different species? But yeah, I don't believe it's the first episode, but like that was their stand-in for Chekhov throughout the series. Okay. And then Jaybird's bring out, this is fact. Star Trek has famously never been cringe. It was all super serious sci-fi show until Kurtzman ruined it. That's true. I mean, anybody who knows Star Trek knows that's true. It's always been super serious, especially the animated series.
How young were they when they were watching this? Oh my goodness. Abraham Curtin just...
Abraham Curtin!
Sure. I love Abraham Curtin.
Right? Can we get that in the Smithsonian?
Almost as much as Savage Lincoln.
Can we call him Abraham Curtin now?
Why not? This is our first podcast dedicated to the life and legacy of Abraham Curtin.
And Genghis Khan.
Yes. Well, I think were we leaning towards C on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your vote, Lindsay, on this one? Or C or B, I guess would be it.
I kind of want to give it a B just because C? I think the animated series needs a little love. It's fine. Yeah.
What do you think, Ashleen? C or B?
I'm kind of leaning to C.
Leaning to C. Let's go a bit high on the C though, because it's cute it's not nearly as sexist as Love. As a lot of choice. Yes. So we could decide how to rank this because I put in the original movie not because it's a big Klingon episode, because it's not. It's the Klingons are barely featured in it, but they're featured for a couple minutes. The captain is played by Mark Leonard, aka Spock's dad, and this is the first time where we see Klingons with the head ridges in a very brief scene at the very beginning before they're destroyed by V'ger. It's actually kind of tough to even rank this because it's like it's not really a Klingon episode. So like it's almost like okay, so it's a crappy Klingon episode, but like it's overall an okay story, but like the Klingon aspect is so minor, but like it's also like it's a huge impact on the Klingons later because this is the look of the Klingons going forward, almost unchanged.
This is what I this is what you can't even see my hand. I'm making gestures, but I was going to say is that this is what I propose is that I feel that it should have its own section and it's just entitled "We Have Ridges Now."
Yeah. I mean, we can just leave it in here because I'm not even sure where to rank it as far as Klingon stories.
You're absolutely right though, because like I think this is the first time we saw the birds of prey like this too, like the ships, right?
Yeah.
So like literally everything about Klingons from this movie forward is completely different.
Yeah, from an aesthetic standpoint, this does a lot for the Klingons. From a story and cultural standpoint, not as much. Although we do get the Klingon language for the first time. Just true. Some basic words, I believe, put together by James Doohan. But yeah, this isn't like the fully constructed language, which is still not fully constructed even to this day, but like it's definitely a much more realized language in our next entry than it is here. Like pretty much here we just got a few random words. And
you're actually in Jaybird S in the chat right now. Firing on V'ger immediately is very Klingon.
Yes, yes, very much so. Yeah, I guess. If I were to tier rank, I'd maybe throw it in B, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's important. Maybe a high B because it's better than the other two, in my opinion.
Also, the motion picture needs more love than it gets. It's a good movie.
That's true. Yeah, it's like if I were ranking as a general movie, I'd be tempted to put it in A. But like as a Klingon thing, it's like it's important, but it's also just a footnote in this movie. It's weird to factor, you know?
I'm like traumatized. I can't think of that film without thinking of 5,000 gallons of sweat. I was being boiled alive when I watched that movie.
But we're sticking with the movies for a little bit because there weren't any Star Trek series going on at this time. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, where we get Klingons played by Christopher Lloyd and John Larroquette. Mostly Christopher Lloyd, but John Larroquette definitely gets like little cameos.
He's in there.
And as I recall, he's like the survivor too, which is kind of fun. So I was going over it briefly before you pop back in, Lindsay. Spoiler alert for Star Trek 2, Spock's dead. His body is launched out a torpedo, ends up on the Genesis planet. When they get back, Sarek's like, "Where's his Katra?" And Kirk's like, "The fuck are you talking about?" And he's like, "Don't lie to me, Kirk. You got his Katra." And Kirk's like, "What? No, I don't." And yeah, and then eventually they do a mind meld. Katra's not there, and they find out the Katra's with McCoy, and Sarek's like, "Why do you to honor him? What needs to happen is his body needs to be merged with his Katra so we can put him to rest." So we got the crew of the original Enterprise going after Spock in this. Overall, I think this is an underrated movie. It gets kind of crapped on because the odd movies are typically crappier. But this one is totally decent in my opinion. It's not as good as Star Trek 2 or Star Trek 4. Definitely not as Star Trek 6. But I think it's a solid movie. And I like Courage or Christopher Lloyd's Klingon character. You kind of even semi-forgets Christopher Lloyd outside the voice every once in a while. Because he just kind of commits to just being this asshole Klingon.
My favorite Klingon, Courage.
Yeah. But overall, I think this is really good. I think for me, this would be an A. Although, yeah, it's really good. It's not a perfect movie, but I enjoy it quite a bit. It's got some big events too. I think for me, I think what kind of holds us back is to agree because it's Leonard Nimoy's directing debut. Like he was given some gold with this script, and I don't think he quite knew how to carry it perfectly, but like he still does well enough with it. Like it still is a very good movie. You get some big events with the death of Kirk's son and the destruction of the Enterprise, which, I mean, my mom talks about when she was in the theater watching it, just like, what the fuck? And I love how, and so one thing that drives me nuts is people talk about the moral theme of Star Trek is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I've seen lots of people argue this online. It's like, okay, you could argue that for Star Trek 2, but the theme of Star Trek 3 is the needs of the few, the few outweigh the needs of the many. Because that's one of the things I kind of like, because they flip it on its head and say, Spock's needs actually outweigh the rest of the crew. And I like that the crew go out and kind of sacrifice a lot to help Spock.
Right.
Even though they didn't even think that they weren't even doing it to resurrect Spock. That was kind of a bonus. They were doing it just to honor his memory, which I like that. But yeah, I've yacked on enough. What do you guys think?
Well, I've talked about this on here before, but I love how this one, like, it's the same bird of prey for this movie as the next two movies. Mm-hmm. So, yes. Like, you know, this movie's important in terms of it's bringing Spock back to life. It's important in terms of the next two movies are very heavily influenced by this. But it's also important because while the motion picture changed, like, you know, the aesthetics of the Klingons, here we really get to see these new types of Klingons in action. Like, we actually really get to see, like, what it's like serving on their ship. Like, and Krug's got, like, a little pet, and they're like, so, like, yeah, it is a Targ. That's right, it is a Targ. So it's funny. Like, this is actually an oddly important movie, even though it's kind of run of the mill. Like, you know, it's not really trying to break the bank or anything like that. It feels like just a follow-up sequel. It really screams in a lot of ways, but it establishes a lot of important things for Klingons. So I held it in kind of high regard.
Yeah, the fact that it feels like kind of a follow-up, I feel like I bring a lot of that to Leonard Nimoy and kind of his you know, freshman film directing outing, where he does a good job. But, like, it definitely feels like you could have done better, and like there's lots of really cool story points in this that I feel like could have been hit harder. Yeah. But, you know, he's learning, and for a first time attempt, I think he's totally decent. You know, I don't want to crap on him too much. It just he's learning, and this is a learning experience, and for a learning experience, it's pretty good. I like this one quite a bit. There's another fact I want to bring up. Oh yeah, so, like, as far as what we're talking about Klingons, a lot of it is like, this establishes a lot of what we think of Klingons going forward. Like, when you think of Klingons, a lot of it is from this movie. And we'll get a bit more into TNG because a lot of it's from TNG too. But, like, when people talk about Klingons, they aren't usually talking about, like, Kor and Koloff from the original series. They're usually talking about Star Trek 3 and onward.
Yep.
So I was saying A tier. Does A tier work for you guys?
I'm down for that. And Christopher Lloyd's performance is pretty incredible too.
Oh, like, yeah. He really commits to just being a Klingon psycho. It's kind of cool. Yeah. I'm going to put it above Dave the Dove because I think it's better than Dave the Dove. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, next up, the first Klingon episode of TNG in TNG season 1, Heart of Glory. I will say, for a season 1 episode, this isn't like the worst or anything. But real quick, going over this story, it's been a moment since I saw this because it's a big list, but, like, they come across this freighter and they find some Klingon survivors on it. The Klingon survivors are, like, a little sus, but Worf kind of hangs out with him because, you know, he doesn't get a whole lot of chance to hang out with Klingons. And they eventually try to take over the ship, and they try to get Worf to take over the ship with him, which obviously doesn't sell. This is a season 1 TNG episode. I don't know what you want me to say. I won't put it in D, but I won't put it in B either, which I guess you can figure out.
I'd say it's one of the stronger season 1 episodes.
For a season 1 episode, like, it's not the worst at all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's nothing standoutish for me.
I can actually talk about my favorite little detail from this episode. It's so dorky. Absolutely. You can make fun of me till the day that I die. So there's these two Klingons, and, you know, they're doing Klingon things, and they don't seem really trustworthy. Yeah. And at one point in the episode, they make a really big point about how they snap off the little spike on their fellow Klingon's shoe. And if you watch closely, in every shoe and every Klingon, they always have these little spikes on these little shoes. And this specific spike on this little shoe ends up being part of a gun that these these Klingons later put together from little bits of all their clothing and stuff. And one, young me, when I saw this, was like, that's the coolest thing ever. You can hide gun parts on you and then put the gun together. But two, I just love the detail that little shoe spike continues to just be in every iteration of the Klingon outfit. So I had to call that out. It makes me very happy. This is also a good Worf episode. He's very conflicted. Like, he wants to be loyal to Starfleet, but like, these are Klingons and they're treating him like he's a Klingon, like they're the brothers. And it's like, it's such good character work for him. And the fact that like he does end up siding with, this is a very early episode of TNG, so obviously he doesn't betray the crew, because otherwise that would completely alter the rest of the series.
Yeah.
But the fact that he feels bad about the fact that he betrays these other Klingons, and that he sticks with Starfleet, and like he still does like the Klingon death howl or whatever for them after he killed them. It's powerful stuff. I like this episode a lot.
Okay. I think you definitely like it more than I do. But I will say for season 1, it's better. And I do want to shout out real fast before I get to your thoughts, Ashleen. But Vaughn Armstrong, who is one of those guys who appears a lot in Star Trek. This is one of his early, if not his first appearance, and he's one of the Klingons in this.
Nice.
What are your thoughts, Ashleen?
I really don't remember this one that much. I pulled out my phone because I wanted to look up the Klingon shoe spike, and wow, there are spikes on those shoes.
Yes.
I'm a big fan. Did you say they put a gun together with the spikes on their shoes?
That's one of the elements, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They just like take little bits off their armor and make a gun. It's so cool.
I agree with that spiritually.
I mean,
I can't remember.
Like that thing kind of reminded me, and I think I think it was before this, but it really reminded me of the movie In Line of Fire, where John Malkovich is like putting together his plastic gun from his pen and stuff like that to shoot the president. Yeah. It really vibed like that for me. So I'm putting this in C, but I feel like you guys are higher. What are your guys thinking?
I'd say high C. I also like that the episode kind of takes its time. I feel like it takes a little too much time before the reveal of the Klingons, but I do like that it kind of builds up to it. So it's just
like rewatching this, like I was like, okay, like this is a Klingon episode, right? Because like for like the first 20 minutes, there's nothing to indicate a Klingon episode. There's nothing even really to indicate a Worf episode. In fact, the first 20 minutes is them being like, oh, we can transmit stuff from Geordi's visor over to this ship. And then so they're doing that. They're watching Geordi's visor, except they don't really know how to see the images because Geordi knows how to read that, but like they don't. And there's this interesting thing where Picard's like, now I can begin to understand the man when he's looking through the visor, essentially. And I'm like, is Geordi this enigmatic dude that you don't understand? Like, he's not. He's Geordi, man. He's one of the dudes. This is weird.
It does kind of go on for a little too long too.
Yeah.
Like there's you see the wall. It's about to buckle right here, and they talk about it for a really long time. But
and they talk about the glow around data, and these are elements that like you would think would come into play later, and they fucking don't.
Yeah.
Like even with the data stuff, you semi expected it maybe to be a thing where he stumbles into one of the Klingons and he gets that glow around him. It's like, oh, but no, it's just random Geordi stuff for a Worf episode. So high C, I'd say that's reasonable. I definitely like it more than the other C's, I will say. Come on.
It will not go above that. Okay, that's funny.
There we go. Okay, so the next one, I feel like this one establishes a lot of Klingon culture, actually teaches a lot about it. It's a season 2 episode called A Matter of Honor. They're doing this exchange program where Riker is going to go serve as a first officer aboard a Klingon ship and kind of learn their customs. I overall thought this is an excellent episode. It establishes a lot of what we know of as Klingon lore, actually, in this one. They talk a lot about honor and how that's important to Klingons here. I love how this also establishes Klingon food and how Riker's like experiment with all the Klingon food from the replicator. Then when he goes to Klingon ship, it's like, this is alive. And they're like, yeah, of course you eat this alive. And he's like, you can obviously tell, and you could tell from earlier, he wasn't eating live food. It was all just, the replicator, Federation replicator, best approximation of what it was, and it was not accurate. I don't know if I quite put this in S tier, but an argument can be made. But I feel an A tier for this is absolutely called for.
Yes.
But what do you guys think?
I'm into ARS for this one because I just love one, you got what's his name from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Mortal Kombat Annihilation in there as one of the Klingons. So Brian Thompson, that's his Brian Thompson.
Oh God, yeah. Yes, he is in this. Yes.
He's also in X-Files. He was like the bounty hunter. He's a great actor. So I love seeing him in Klingon makeup. That was super fun. Like the Klingon women are all about Riker because of course they are. It's Riker, but Riker's just like fully embracing the whole like, I'm going to eat this food. I'm going to slap my superior officers. Like he really gets into it. And this episode's fun.
I think one of the things that really helps us explore Klingon culture in this episode, I think it's smart because logically, if you're doing a Klingon episode, you would think you'd do a Worf thing, but this is a Riker episode, and that's part of what they're doing. They're explaining Klingon culture to the audience through Riker, and I think that's a smart way to handle it rather than just have Worf do stuff because Worf will know all this stuff. In fact, Worf does get a little bit of time in this episode when Riker's like, "Hey, can you give me tips?" But yeah, I think this is overall an excellent episode. I like this quite a bit. Should I put in between them, maybe?
That's good.
Okay, yeah.
Because like the paranoia that they play with on this episode too is like pretty good because the Klingons did pick that thing up from them and like it's suspicious, so it's like it all makes sense. None of it's forced, none of it's contrived. Like this is a really well written episode. I like it.
So the next one was one that was not listed as our key episodes. This is the Icarus Factor. A plot is Riker dealing with his dad and their son and dad issues as they even fight in some sort of game. That's the A plot. And by the way, this episode also establishes that apparently Pulaski and Riker's dad fucked at some point. Fun fact.
Sure.
I guess it's not firmly established, but there's definitely the vibes that, oh God, they were fucking at some point, weren't they? But the B plot is Worf is really stressed. And Wesley is like, okay, what's up with Worf? And he researches it and he figures out he needs to do this whole pain ritual with the pain sticks. This episode establishes pain sticks. And he needs to do it with his friends. So he does this whole ritual with the pain sticks with, I want to say it's Wesley, Geordi, Pulaski, and O'Brien, I want to say. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody if chat remembers. But yeah, those are the 4 guys who witnessed this. This isn't okay episode. It's season 2, so it's not TNG at its peak, but it's way better than TNG season 1. I feel this is a B, like a mid-level B.
So this is one that I
guys
missed.
catch up with this one. Okay.
But now that you've described it, I do remember this, and I do remember liking the Riker dad stuff a lot. So I know that's not really what we're here for, but I do remember liking this episode, even if it's not Klingon related. So for whatever that's worth, there's my 2 cents.
Yeah. So maybe high B.
Sure,
it's okay.
For the record, chat, I've seen most of these. I think it's like I don't remember the exact
big
number.
Ones are on the list. To rewatch and And when it comes to Star Trek, I've seen it all at some point in my life. But yeah, there's a couple where it's like, So next one up. This is on the list. The Emissary, not Emissary from Deep Space Nine, but The Emissary from TNG Season 2, where the Emissary is played by Susie Plaxton, who is, I think she only gets like 6 Star Trek appearances in her entire run, which seems really low. But like she always, in my opinion, is a standout character, and even in a lesser episode. And I love her as a guest star.
I realized she was the Lady Q in Voyager.
Yes,
she owns that part, man. She's like an incredible
not
guest
even a great
star.
episode, but like, I love her in it, and she's I want to say she's Strand's second in command in an episode of Enterprise.
I think so.
She's actually just a random Vulcan science officer earlier in season 2 of TNG. I want to say, yeah, she gets random Star Trek guest spots. In my opinion, she should have had more because she's great and. This might be her best character who gets 2 spots in the episode, which are both going to be talking about. But I would have loved to have seen more. So she plays Kalar, who is a half Klingon, half human, who has a past relationship with Worf. The big issue being that like Worf fully embraces Klingon heritage, and she really doesn't. And in a lot of ways, you could say she is almost a prototype B'Elanna Torres, although I will actually say I think she's more interesting than B'Elanna Torres, which... Okay. Take what you will of that.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert for future in the series. She's also Alexander's mom, who appears a lot more in the series. But yeah, this is her first appearance. She is a Klingon emissary. There's this Klingon ship that has like been in like deep freeze or whatever, and it's gonna be waking up. And they're from a time where the Federation and Klingon were at war. And essentially, they're like, okay, we need to stop this Klingon ship. And she comes in and she's like, as the emissary for the Klingon Empire, I'm telling you guys, what you need to do is blow up the ship and just call it a day. Wipe your hands. And they're like, oh, and Picard's like, okay, I do not like the idea of just fucking killing them. And she's like, these Klingons are from a different time. You can't really do this. But the whole thing is about learning. Are you there, Ashley?
I've been looking for a place.
Go ahead and cut it.
I've been looking for a place to interject, but it like wasn't happening, and that's why I had my hand up. I was hoping you would notice my cries. Okay, Lindsay, can you hear the really epic metal music going on right now? Not right now, but it was happening for like a while.
Oh no!
It was distracting me. I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
The microphone's usually pretty good at picking up just stuff in front of it. Yeah,
literally, for like the past 2 episodes, we've been talking about just like in the back, really intense guitar soloing, and I'm just like,
funny.
"What is happening?"
This microphone does a good job.
Okay.
It's usually pretty good in the background. There will be times where it's thundering really loud outside, and I'll be like, "Chat, can you hear that at all?" And they're like, "No, I don't hear anything." And even when I go back, I'm like, "Okay, I don't hear that either." Cool.
Like, yeah, you know, I really like this actress. In the back, it's like, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness." Okay.
All right. Well, I did yak about this episode quite a bit. I really like this one. I'm not sure if I put it in S or A, probably A, but like I do like this one a lot. But what do you guys think?
A.
A is the good way to go. I was specifically looking forward to this episode. There was a lot I was looking forward to. I was very looking forward to this one because I hadn't seen this one since I was a kid, and I remember her character being really cool. And she enters into the episode by like she was shot into deep space in a probe in order to intercept with the Enterprise. That is so badass. And like she's constantly putting Worf in his place, and like they have a little fight on the holodeck. That's fun. This is a really good episode. I love how it ends with the two of them pretending to be the captain and like the first officer of the Enterprise. That's super fun. This is good Trek, man. This is top. This is good Trek.
I was gonna say the very fact that like I love Worf and Jadzia, but the very fact that like when you say, "Hey, who do you like better, Worf or Jadzia or Worf and K'Ehleyr?" and I have to go, I don't know, tells you something because K'Ehleyr is such a brief character, but man, she was a good companion for Worf. She bounced really well off him, and I bought their relationship. So yeah, I'll put this high A. I'm gonna put this high A if that works for you guys.
I'm down.
I do like this one. Okay, next one is not.
And also, wait, what's Worf's last line before the episode ends? It's like, "I'm incomplete without you," or something. Like,
yeah, there is something like that where it's like, yeah,
that's the good right there.
Yeah,
your voice rose like an entire octave when you did that. Good. Probably wasn't that much, but I don't know. It was an exaggerated shift.
So next up was not a key Klingon one, but we can definitely discuss it. Klingon, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Cybok goes on a search for God. Meanwhile, the B plot. We have a bored Klingon who wants to hunt Kirk. That's it. Like, it doesn't really explore any more Klingon culture. Just bored Klingon goes, "Oh, Kirk's around. Let's hunt him." And that is it. And I feel like Star Trek V is always going to get D tier for me, and this is no exception. Even from a Klingon aspect, it's a D. It sucks. I understand there's lots of behind the scenes issues with this one. There's good ideas with this movie. I like the idea of I think Lawrence Luckenbill Cybok does a great job. I think the idea of him as the main villain, of Vulcan as a main villain in your Star Trek movie, I like that idea. That's cool. That's something you won't really expect. But what the fuck? But yeah, this movie sucks. You guys have anything to add?
I mean, this is the row your boat Star Trek movie. You know, it's like, what else is there to say? It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dancing cat lady scene, dancing Uhura scene. This movie's horny. This movie's confused. This is a bad one.
Wait, this is the one where Uhura does the dance.
Oh yeah, this is the fan dance
Yep.
one.
I can't get over the fact that there's so many things wrong with that scene. I shan't even.
Well,
oh my God.
let me ask you this: the fan dance, who does it better, Uhura or Rutherford?
Okay, the thing about the fan dance in the Uhura scene is that it's so obviously not her.
Yeah.
Like, she's wearing a completely different outfit and everything. Like, it's so... Oh continuity isn't real.
I do have to say, Rutherford really carries it. Yeah.
I guess this was directed by Shatner, right? Wasn't this the first Shatner directed? Yeah.
I can't get over that. Literally, I was watching it and I was like, I mean, I don't know. The fan dance may not have been Shatner's idea, but if it was, I just like, I feel if you are in a if you're making a movie and you decide that and you're also one of the lead characters in the movie in a crew, and you decide that one of the members of the crew is going to do a fan dance, I feel it is your duty to take one for the team.
Yeah. Kirk does the fan dance.
That would have completely saved the movie, by the way. 10 out of 10, perfect Trek film, up there with Galaxy Quest.
Listen, man, I was gonna say this was terrible, but then Kirk did the fan dance. I'm like, he committed. 10 out of 10.
And honestly, like, keep the thing where it's very obviously like not the same person.
Yeah.
Like, just use the same footage that they were used for the Uhura fan dance, and then cut up to Kirk's face.
Yeah, I have the silhouette of the sexy woman, and then you get up close and it's Kirk. Oh god, that'd be hilarious. I would actually love that. McCoy fan dance and complaining the whole time.
Like, oh my god. No.
Also, don't change the dialogue. Yes, it's the exact same dialogue. Hello, Kirk going, hello, boys. Okay, so getting back to something that definitely is on the list, much more Klingon related. Much better too. Sin's the father.
Yep.
So this introduces Kern, Worf's brother, who appears in a couple more episodes, played by Tony Todd, who appears in a lot more episodes of Star Trek. Great actor, passed away a couple years ago, and I will forever brag that he was one of my Twitter followers because I was so happy when I saw that he followed me. I was like, oh, holy shit, is that the Tony Todd? Holy shit, he follows me on fucking awesome.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man.
It's like, Tony Todd follows me on Twitter. Holy shit. But yeah, so this introduces Kern, this is in some ways kind of a follow-up to A Matter of Honor because they're doing the Klingon exchange program, except this time Kern is serving as the first officer aboard the Enterprise, and he is getting a lot of people pissed, and Riker is kind of trying to give him pointers, and Kern's like, fuck off, man, I'm gonna do my own thing. Yep. But then you find out the whole main story going on is that he wants to talk to Worf, who, by the way, he's being like terrible to the other Enterprise crew members, but he's like really being nice and gentle to Worf, and it's really like it's really off-putting the whole time. It's like, you're doing a good job, Worf. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, what you find out is that the Duras family have framed Moog, Kern's, and Worf's father for treachery, and he's about ready to the family name's about ready to be completely discredited. And we actually get to see our first shots of life on the Klingon Empire as we see like buildings and stuff, and Picard goes to visit Kronos before it's named Kronos. But yeah,
what was the original name? I forgot. It was
I believe I want to say it was in Heart of. There was no original name except Klingon Homeworld. I think in Heart of Glory they tried to say the name was Kling, and that obviously didn't stick.
Right.
But yeah, Kronos gets established in Star Trek 6. So yeah, over 20 years later is when the Klingons get a proper name to their homeworld. So canon changes. But yeah, Worf has to deal with his family getting discredited here. The leader of the Klingon Empire essentially is willing to do it because Duras is a powerful family. and Kern's trying to get Worf to stand up because he is the eldest son and he is the one that has to stand up for the family.
Mm-hmm.
And Worf does go and do it. And spoiler alert, the episode kind of resolves with actually Picard going down to the planet and essentially saying, I will put the full might of the Federation to defend you, Worf. Like, if you want to defend this because it's a lie, it's a mockery of the truth, if you want to defend this, I will be 100% behind your back. And Worf essentially says, I'm going to take the easy route and take discommodation to help the Duras family so there's no fighting. And when I watch that scene, I always feel like Picard might feel a little bit stabbed in the back. And I kind of feel like you see that in a reflection in later how he handles Worf. Because like Picard is like willing to go all in on this. And Worf backs down. It's like, okay. I really like this episode, though, because it's great character study. You get introduced to Kern. It's a solid episode. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, like you said, Tony Todd's a legend, man. So, like, the moment I saw his name in the credits, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good episode. And then there's this guy on screen, and he's got that Tony Todd voice. I'm like, oh, I'm looking at Tony Todd as a Klingon right now. This is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I always knew Kern was existing because I remember him mostly from DS9 before this, the episode where he we'll talk about it later. Yeah. But so seeing him like actually in like full form, like I loved it. This is a fun episode, and the fact that it's all about Worf's family, and this is the episode where Worf makes like the big sacrifice, right? That's what we talked about. Yeah, where it's like, so this is like the episode where it like starts being like, so Worf is like top Klingon dog, like the perfect Klingon or whatever you want to call it. Like, so I quite like this episode a lot. I like the drama. I love Kern just being a dick to everyone on the Enterprise. And again, it's a slow burn. It takes quite a while before we get to the reveal that Kern is his brother. So I like when Star Trek kind of takes its time like that. It's nice.
What do you think, Ashley?
I like it. I think that the Duras sisters are kind of questionable.
Well, we don't see them.
Oh,
yet.
we don't.
We have the Duras brother in this episode.
Okay,
while he's still alive. Yeah,
I forgot. I just in my brain I was like, they must show up at the same time. But you're right. You're right. Never mind. It's pretty good. I enjoy it.
Do we want to go high A or do we want to go S with this one? This one's really good in my opinion.
It's really good.
And it kind of like you see the difference between Picard and Worf because Picard's going to go all in and Worf's like, I will take the sacrifice for the Empire. It's like, okay.
I feel like this is worthy of the S tier.
I think so too. It does. This definitely dives the most in Klingon culture I think we've seen before. And obviously we get to see the Klingon homeworld for the first time, even though we don't have a proper name for it. So do we want to go S on this one?
This is a good S. This is a really, really good S. It's iconic. It's got Tony Todd, R.I.P. Dude, you're a legend. This is a really good episode.
Yeah, I definitely am comfortable with that. Speaking of stuff I'd probably put in S tier, Reunion is next. The second episode of K'Ehleyr. She returns with Alexander. With the whole backstory as to why she didn't tell Worf about Alexander. The actual reason is because they hadn't developed his character yet and decided to introduce him in this episode. I think that's one of the weakest elements of this is her not telling him about Alexander. Because, like, come on, tell him about Alexander. But the main thrust of this plot is that the reason she's come to say this is because the leader of the Klingon Empire, who we saw in the last episode, Sins of the Father, he is now dying. He's been slowly poisoned to death. We have two people who are vying for his spot once he dies. And that is Duras, the Duras brother, not the sisters aren't here yet. Okay. So the Duras brother, and then this dude who is named Garoon? I don't know.
Garon? Well, that can't be right.
Yeah, that's not right. But yeah, anyways, Garon, bug-eyed guys.
The moment he appeared on screen, I'm like, oh, there he is. What's up, crazy eyes?
The introduction of Garon is this episode, which is very cool. But you also get K'Ehleyr and Alexander. We did get deal with a little bit of Worf's private life, and Picard is actually postponing because essentially the Klingon leader says, "You, because you've interfered, and I can choose who can name my successor. I'm going to choose you." And Picard's like, I refuse." And the Klingon leader's like, "Actually, you can't." And Picard's like, "Fuck." But yeah, eventually he does die. Picard is supposed to choose the next guy like immediately, and then he talks to Kalar, and she brings up this archaic thing where the leaders who are vying for it have to bring their essentially their resume of their house histories to prove their worthiness. And Picard enacts that to essentially buy time to see who actually poisoned him, who was guilty of it.
Yes.
And spoiler alert, we learn that it's Duras and Gowron.
Oh, really?
yeah. And I think there's even a great moment where they're talking about their investigation, and Duras is like, "I'm gonna go to my ship and investigate." Once the Federation gives them their findings, and then Gowron is just looking fucking Duras dead in the face, and it's like, "Yeah, we're gonna investigate this too." It's so clear that Gowron didn't do this. It was Duras, and Gowron's like, "I know you, motherfucker. Now I know."
I also like how quiet Gowron is in this episode. Like,
it's not quite full-fledged Gowron, but the elements are there. Yeah,
like the actor's trying to find his feet. Like the character's still trying to find his feet. Like the character almost feels like he's like, "I'm here. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here, I guess." But in a good way. I mean, like it's and
Robert O'Reilly, by the way, is Gowron.
Oh, he's freaking amazing. I also just want to talk about how tiny Alexander is. He's so itty bitty.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at him in that photo. He's like not even real.
Right?
But throughout this whole episode, like Kalar knows there's something up with Worf's discommendation. She's like, "Okay, I know your dad was you were discommended because your dad did treachery, but that seems sus as fuck. So I'm trying to figure out why the fuck you just went along with it, Worf." And she's really trying to get Worf to tell him, and he's like, "No." She even tries to get Picard to tell her, and Picard's like, "I can't. That's personal information. I can't tell you about that." And eventually, she decides to deep dive into some research using the computer. And she pieced it together that he took the fall for Duras, and she fucking calls him out on it hard. And his response is to kill her.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty fucking tragic death. This is a
such
sad
a good
episode,
scene,
but,
though, too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like when the three of them are all holding hands, it's so powerful. I cut you off though. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say one of the key, like the end of this episode is Duras or Worf killing Duras essentially against orders, but it's like one of the only times Worf goes directly against orders in the episode, and it's also one of the times where I'm like 100% behind him. I'm like, yeah, fuck this guy. Oh my god. This episode, it does a good job. It has a very engaging storyline. It introduces some great characters, and it's overall just like, as much as I like Emissary, like this one I think is better. This is an easy S tier for me. I really like this one.
I agree.
Are we all agreeing on the S tier?
Yeah.
Well, just the moment when like Worf is like he charges onto the Duras dude's ship, and he's like, "She was my mate," and he's just like, "Oh." He just pulls out the sword, but you can tell he's like, "I'm screwed." Like there's something about that. It's so good. This is a great episode.
Yeah. Ashley, was there anything you want to add about this one?
It's very good.
I just felt like you didn't say as much, but I do.
Yeah, you kind of, you said your spiel, and then you were like, "All right, so what ranking you want to put it in?" And I was like, "Well, I agree with you."
Oh, so anything you want to add though?
Anything I want to add? You said I feel like we have very similar opinions.
Oh, okay.
And you yap before I do.
Yeah.
But well, you see, I think that Alexander would be permanently traumatized realistically.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I support Worf's right to kill that guy. Yeah. Murder is okay.
Listen, murder is not okay unless it's at Duras. Fuck the Durases, okay? Well, do you want to take point on redemption?
Redemption?
Yeah.
What did they do in this one?
I
don't know the names of any episodes.
So here's the interesting thing about Redemption. It's overall very good. It's a two-parter. This is because Best of Both Worlds was such a success for them. They decided to do two-parters pretty much every season leading into the next season. But instead of doing just the Borg again, they decided to do Redemption, which is this big two-parter with Worf. Essentially, Kern comes back, and essentially they're aligning themselves with Gowron, and because there's Klingon civil war essentially breaking out between the Duroses and the Gowron.
Okay.
And Gowron, who's the proper leader, and the Duras is saying, "No, you're bullshit."
Is this where the Duras sisters show up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is our introduction. Yes, because they introduced their son, and they're like, he should be leader.
All right.
This is but what I like about this is it'd be easy for them to just be like, oh, Best of Both Worlds was a hit, so let's just do Borg every season finale, season premiere. But they decided, let's do the big cliffhanger, but let's do drastically different topics every time, which until we get to Descent, I think worked quite well. But yeah, the Klingon Civil Wars breaking out into Klingon Civil Wars, Civil War, guys.
My God, the Klingon Civil Wars breaking out into Civil War?
What?
No.
Klingon Empire is breaking out into Civil War, but
inconceivable.
Yeah. But also in part 2, we get the cool storyline with essentially Data dealing with some bigotry, kind of from Picard, but mainly from the crew, because they have to. Essentially, they believe the Romulans are helping Duras' side, so Gowron asked the Federation to help them. They're like, we have no evidence the Romulans are helping you. Unless we have that evidence, we can't give you any assistance. But they're fairly confident that Gowron's right. The Romulans are helping them. They set up this detection net to see if there's Romulan cloaking devices anywhere nearby. But they need a whole bunch of Federation ships to do it. And there's actually this cool moment where he's like, okay, here are the assignments for your ships. I think Riker gets a ship. And then Data notes, I'm the second officer. Wouldn't it be customary for me to get a ship? And Picard seems almost like, wait, what? And he's like, is it normal for me to get a ship? I'm wondering why I didn't. Is it because you don't believe I'm capable of doing this as a synthetic being? And Picard, you see Picard going, actually, you're in charge of this ship. It's Picard realizing, holy shit, I think I was being overlooking him because he's an android, and I really shouldn't because he's fucking awesome. It's really a my bad Picard moment where he's like, oh fuck yeah, you do get a ship, dude. You do. But then he has to deal with bigotry on board the other ship. This isn't really Klingon mythology stuff, but I do like the storyline where Data has to essentially take charge of the other ship. Yep. And the first officer there just being a complete dick, being like, you're not even a real human. Why should I take orders from you?
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, get him, Data.
Yeah, and Data does get him.
I'm just imagining one of the the really overdramatic TOS fight scenes, but between Data and this guy.
Yeah.
Where Data's just pile driving him. Every other
Data
shot
would dominate.
It's just a guy bouncing off walls.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I would say this is. Well, actually, before I get to tier ranking, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Well, it's funny that we haven't even mentioned the Denise Crosby.
It's true. Yeah, we get. I think this is the introduction of Sela. I think that's the end of part 1 is the introduction of Sela, where it's like, the fuck is Denise Crosby doing in this? And it's like they create a new role for her essentially, as Tasha Yar's granddaughter, I want to say, or daughter from. As a sequel to Yesterday's Enterprise. I have very mixed feelings about that. But yeah.
It was a choice.
Yeah.
It was a capital C choice to bring her back. But it is good to see her. I love Denise Crosby. So it's great to see her.
She was cut from the series way too soon, in my opinion. Yes. She was one of the highlights of season 1. Not a great season, true, but
and she's a great as a Romulan, human raised Romulan. I thought she did a very good job. But no, this isn't a great episode. It's a little.
I think
forgettable.
It's okay. I don't know. Yeah, it's not a highlight. I do, like I said, I appreciate that they're doing something without the Borg because that would be the instinct after Best of Both Worlds. I think it's a decent two-parter, but yeah, it doesn't. It's not. I don't think it's nearly as good as Sins of the Father reunion. I don't even know if I'd consider it as high as Matter of Honor or Emissary though. It's decent though. So I guess for me, I'd either put it low A or high B. But what do you guys think?
I think B is a pretty good spot for it, just because some of the weirdness involved with the Denise Prokosvy's character, Tasha's character, Ayar, and like I do love the idea of the net, but it feels like it's like they thwart it so easily. But then Data's just like, "Aha! I thwart you back just as easily." And it's a fun episode, but it's not like incredible. It's all right. It's all
right. So B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
B. We'll do B.
I think I like blacked out for a bunch of these episodes.
Well, some of them are just fine, you know. Okay, so I don't. What is this one? Star Trek.
The Undiscovered Country.
What?
Why?
What? I've never heard of this one. Does this one involve Klingons?
I'm on Star Trek.
So obviously, we cannot talk about Klingons and not talk about Star Trek 6. This one does a lot, obviously. So this one establishes the Klingon homeworld is named Kronos. It begins with a huge catastrophe where Kronos' moons gets blown up, and Sulu is there charting it, and they have to essentially figure out the Klingon Empire is dying, and they will die without Federation help. And one of the elements I actually love about this is it forces Kirk to face his bigotry about the Klingons, because there's this bigotry about the Klingons throughout the original series even, and it really forces Kirk to come face to face with that, because there's this moment where Spock's like, yeah, we need to help the Klingons, because if we don't help them, they'll die. And Shatner actually does really good performances when directed by Nicholas Meyer. That's when Shatner just goes, let them die. And it's like, holy shit, that's a dark place to go, bro.
Yeah.
Especially because he's like the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's just such a dark thing to say.
I love that they're willing to go there with it, though. Because, like, you watch the original series even, like, there's racism against the Klingons. They're like dumb Klingon bastards, you know? And, yeah, this one confronts it head on. This isn't the first one that'll deal with Klingon racism. We'll get to some more of that later. But this definitely is probably the most prominent examples of it. I will also admit this is probably my favorite Star Trek movie at this point, because I just feel it's aged so well, and it does feature one of my favorite Klingon characters, which we'll get to later. General Chang is just such cheese. I love him so much. Christopher Plummer just reading Shakespeare while firing on the Enterprise is so great. But yeah, essentially they try to make peace with the Klingons. There's an assassination of the Klingon ambassador. All evidence points to the Enterprise doing it, except for the fact that the Enterprise crew is like, we know nothing about this. What the hell? And, you know, like, even their records are saying they did it. And Scotty's like, okay, like, essentially, there's a computer record saying they fired photon torpedoes at the ship. And Scotty's like, I inventoried the torpedoes. We didn't fire crap. They're all here. What the hell? And they even have, they're like, how the hell is this happening? It's I think it's a fun mystery. I love this movie. And like I said, I think it's probably my favorite Star Trek movie right now. But what do you guys think?
I think that it's a very solid S tier. I haven't actually seen like the Star Trek movies in a while, so I'm going to be very brief. I thought that they did a good job at dealing with Kirk's racism, and that's all I gotta say. It was good. I'd put it in S probably.
Lindsay, what do you think?
This is definitely up there in terms of the Star Trek movies. Like it's got Michael Dorn's first appearance is freaking Worf, which is obviously incredible.
Well, no, this is well into TNG.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny. Okay, that's even. That's
how come I put them in this order, because we're actually following them in production order. So this is when it came out in production order. So this would be after
absolutely
Redemption.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I mean, that just makes it niftier. Then I love the whole. I love the Chancellor guy who gets assassinated. The way that he's killed, like the CGI hasn't aged great, but like the idea of the scene is fun.
David Warner as the ambassador is great because I just love David Warner as an actor. He's amazing. And we also get Christopher Plummer as the villain. Spoiler, he's the villain, but oh god, he's great.
And I love that both of them, both Chang and the Counselor, are both quoting like human works. Like they both read up on our history and like are taking inspiration and stuff from it. I think that's really interesting.
Listen, Lindsay, you can't understand Shakespeare until you read it in the original Klingon.
This is true. It's obviously how it was intended to be done. This is S tier for me. I quite like this movie a lot. And it's a murder mystery. I love a good murder mystery. I love the scene where it's like, aha, we caught you because this boot. And then they look at his feet and it's like, nah, that's not his boots, dude.
No, this
and Dax. The character's name is Dax too, which is great.
This is before Deep Space Nine.
Right.
But this is excellent. I really love Star Trek 6. This is one that wasn't on the list because this is an interesting one. So this is Birthright. Part 1 is Worf looking into this possible Klingon prison camp. B plot. A plot, Data's dealing with dreams. And they're dealing with dreams while parked at Deep Space Nine. And they hang out with Julian Bashir. And Julian Bashir, this is season 1 Bashir, but yet Alexander Siddig al-Faddig at that time. Fidel, I mean, something like that. I'm sorry. But he's doing a decent job. He's doing a better job with Bashir here than he did with a lot of the season 1 Deep Space Nine stuff. It feels like later Bashir almost in this episode. And I love the exchanges between him and Data. But unfortunately, that's not the Klingon part of this. The Klingon part of this is B plot until the second episode, which, by the way, the Data stuff and the dream and Bashir stuff, all that's resolved in part 1. Part 2 is pure Klingon stuff where he goes to this Klingon prison camp where it's actually this colony of Klingons that are that were kidnapped by Romulans, but like that was generations ago. And now they all just live together. It's fine. This doesn't like stand out. I like the Data and Bashir stuff, but that's not even the Klingon stuff. As far as Klingon stuff, it's fine. It's a B tier in my opinion. I don't know if you guys watch this because it wasn't part of the main viewing, but
I know I've seen this one before, but I did not watch it and prep for this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to qualify this one as a little forgettable because again, I know I've seen
it. It is.
You know, like it's all right.
Despite being one of the very few times where we get to see some of the DS9 crew and TNG crew interact. It's not bad, but it's a little forgettable. Now this one was part of the list. We got Rightful Heir. The Return of Kahless, guys. Although this one appears to be the actual Kahless, as Worf is doing Klingon rituals to bring himself kind of in center after meeting the Klingons from Birthright. So there's kind of a follow-up to that one. And during that, Kahless appears to him, except it appears to be actually Kahless as he's physically there and able to talk to Worf. And it's like, the fuck is going on? Like, huh? And they're trying to figure out this mystery of what's up with this dude, and it turns out he's a clone, but he has all Kahless's memories as much as they know. This episode is fine in my opinion, but what are your guys' thoughts?
It is a respectable Star Trek episode of Star Trek.
It's fine,
and I enjoy getting to hear a little bit more about Kahless and the Klingon religion and stuff like that. Do we ever have a name for the Klingon religion?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because I feel odd just calling it the Klingon religion, because like there could very well be more than one.
It's the Book of Kahless.
Kahless. Yes. Why did I say it like that? I said yes. But yeah. I like it conceptually. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. Lindsay, what are your thoughts?
I mean, this one is. I remember this one from a kid. I hadn't watched this one in a long time, and I like how they do the whole story about like the first Batleth and all that. So I think there's a lot of really great Klingon history in this episode, and I do think that like there's a lot of important stuff that comes out of it going forward because Kahless does become the counselor, and so like that is like a thing, and it has some merit going forward, even if they don't really see him again.
And I was gonna say we never see him again, but like he's referenced, I think at least quite a few more times going forward.
Several times,
yeah. I think they make him the emperor, even like it's a position without any actual political power, but like he'll have a voice on the council, and they figured to give it to him because he is a clone of Kalis and he has his memories. Like, there is a value to that. Yeah.
It's like the Queen of England. You know, you don't actually do anything, but it's a cool title to have.
You have a platform. You have a
I imagine Kalis probably ends up doing more than the Queen of England does.
Yeah, probably. He seems cooler than the Queen of England. Yeah, but
he does have less corgis, though.
That is true.
But I bet you he's got more Targs.
This is true, actually. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
B?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I mean, it's not bad.
It's
fine.
Just,
Put it there. Okay, so now we get to Deep Space Nine's first Klingon episode. And I think, like, essentially, to my understanding, the writers were told they should do a Klingon episode, and they're like, we don't have any Klingon characters. What can we do this with? And that I think they did the genius thing of making Jadzia's past host Curzon heavily relayed with the Klingons and giving her a Klingon pass.
Yep.
And I absolutely love that, she ends up working with the Klingons. And the Klingons they have here are Kor, Koloth, and Kang in the original series, Day of the Dove, Trouble of Tribbles, and Errand of Mercy. So they all get to come back, except this time in full Klingon gear. Kang isn't as obviously blackface as he was in the original series, which is a little bit much.
Appreciate
it. But yeah, I think this is also Terry Farrell, I think, talks about this where she got the nickname like Battle Barbie or something like that. Yeah. I believe this is definitely the episode that gave her that name. I overall thoroughly enjoy this episode.
Yes.
It's at least an A for me, but what are your guys' thoughts?
This one's amazing. I love seeing all the actors again. Jadzia is a character I adore on DS9, and it's nice when she's like actually making her own decisions.
Yes.
She is in this episode, as opposed to just being like, well, I guess I'm a Trill, so I gotta do the Trill. And so like that's pretty cool. It's emotional because a couple of those guys die, spoilers, and it's it is a lot of time is spent in this episode where people just like, and you remember when you blod, and then I blod, and then you blod, and then I blod. But like,
blod.
Yeah, but like it's fine. It's fine. This is a very fun episode. I'm excited for this every rewatch.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that a bit because like we get to see the original actors reprising these roles from the original series. But you also get to make up this kind of fake history about how they work together, because they never worked together in the original series, but like come up with fake history, kind of linking them together, and I enjoy that quite a bit.
I'm a big fan of watching Errand of Mercy, and in like the back of my mind going, him and Dax were best buddies.
Yes, they were.
Like, let's go. Yeah, I think it's good. I keep on looking stuff up. I promise I'm being alert. But I was confused because I was so certain House of Quark was before this and it wasn't.
No.
Yeah. Me when I'm wrong.
Well, House of Quark was after TNG ended. But Blood Oath is towards the end of TNG's run.
I'm intrigued. So yes, it's good. A big fan of the fact that Dax was just friends with a bunch of TOS Klingons, plenty of which antagonized Kirk. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
You're watching Errand of Mercy, and Kor is like, for every one Klingon killed, we will kill 1,000 Organians. And then you're like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, Dax, this is your bro?
Yeah, this is Dax BFF right here. It is great to see them. And then Lindsay already brought the spoiler. Yeah, there's not 100% survival rate. In fact, of the original cast, original Klingons, Kor is the only one to make it through this one. And he does appear quite a few more times in Deep Space Nine, which we will get to. But yeah, do we want to go A or S on this one? Because I do feel like this one, if I were to crap on it a little bit, I feel like it has a bit of pacing issues sometimes.
Yeah.
It drags a little bit. As much as I love the concept and overall love this episode and what it is, It does have pacing issues, which hold me back from wanting it an S.
This to me
But
is a high A.
Yeah. Do we want to go high A on this one?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Again, like it's a lot of people just kind of reminiscing at each other, which is fine because I like the people reminiscing, and the reminiscing is fun, but it is a lot of that.
But it is so cool to see those actors back and actually see them in proper Klingon makeup, and like you can tell, like they're not quite the characters they were in the original series, but like they're adapted as closely as you can to keep them in line with the original series, but also keep them in line with what we know of Klingons now, which wasn't established in the original series at all. This is a classic. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Next up, Firstborn. Episode where Worf wants to get Alexander into being a warrior, and Alexander's not really vibing with being a warrior. And then this random dude pops up, and he's like, "I will help Alexander be a warrior." And the dude ends up being future Alexander.
Yes. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm forgetting the name of the actor, but it's the guy who plays Dr. Moira, who experimented on Odo in Deep Space Nine. But he gets to play older Alexander in this one.
It is that same actor. That's funny.
Yeah, you can recognize the voice clearly. But when you put them together. But guys, go ahead and give me your thoughts.
Okay, so I just keep on remembering how Alexander kind of just like assaulted this local theater guy.
Well, I think they kind of saw it coming though, because he is a kid. But there's this theater thing, and they're acting out this bathless battle, and then Alexander goes.
Like,
Worf volunteers.
Who wants to challenge me?
Worf does the performance with the guy, and then Alexander does it. Except Alexander's actually swinging the bathleth. I'm assuming it's probably a stage bathleth too, so it's probably looks villainous, but it's not probably supposed to be a real one.
No, he's like, dude, you hit me, and Alexander's like, yeah.
But this episode is fine.
Yeah,
I don't have strong feelings about it. It's a TNG season 7 episode, and season 7 is like it's got some bangers in season 7, but in my opinion, it's not the highlight of the series.
Yeah,
and this one's kind of standard season 7 in my opinion, where it's good, but it doesn't blow me away or anything. I guess it's a cool Alexander episode to show a character who is not necessarily into being a warrior, who's a Klingon, which we will get to later. And yes, those characters exist, by the way, just saying. But Alexander obviously not into the warrior life. No matter how much his future self tries to convince him of that. B tier?
I'm okay with B tier. I think one of my favorite things about this episode is I think this is one of the first times that we really see a lot of Klingon singing. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool just a thing about Klingons that gets established in this episode, and also just kind of makes me happy when people are just like, "Bro, why are people doing musical episodes of Star Trek? People don't sing in Star Trek." Like, bro, you spend 5 minutes with a Klingon, they're going to sing a war song with you.
Dude, there's probably like a half dozen episodes of the original series where Uhura just breaks out into songs.
You know what? We support it. We support it. Release the Uhura album.
Yeah.
I thought of this before. I would not mind watching a Klingon opera. Like if they just made a Klingon opera and they like recorded it. I would love if they just like performed a Klingon opera and you got like subtitles and stuff and it was like set up on stage in front of it. I would watch the entire thing and I'd be like, yes.
I mean,
full length.
I remember hearing people complaining because in Academy, we got an Academy episode in there, but like people complaining in Academy that like Jaden's smiling and it's like Klingons never smile, and I'm like, the fuck series have you been watching? Like they aren't Vulcans, and even Vulcans sometimes smile, bro.
Klingons get very joyous.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Klingons get very joyous. The fuck you talking about?
Well, in the episode where Riker, go ahead. Actually, I apologize.
Let's say Klingons experience the full range of emotions very fully. They feel everything.
If you go back to the Riker episode where he spends an episode on the Klingon, the bird of prey, like he comments, "I'm not used to Klingons laughing and having a good time." It's like people take Worf and Worf's like character flaw of being overly serious with a stick up his butt and equate that to all Klingons, and that's just not accurate, man.
Yeah, when people describe it, it's like I feel like you're talking about Worf, but that's not every Klingon. In fact, Worf is an atypical Klingon, even though he tries to embrace Klingon culture as much as possible. He is atypical. He is not standard. Now we got to the one you brought up earlier, House of Quark.
House of Quark.
Deep Space Nine doing another Klingon episode with their cast of characters, and this time they decide to do one with Quark. Which
can I take point on this one?
Yeah, go ahead, take point on
this
one.
I actually know what happens in this one based off of the title. Okay, guys, listen. So what happens is Quark gets into Quark is working at his bar, right? There's a guy at the bar not paying his tab, and so Quark ends up getting into a tussle with this guy where he accidentally kills him. Or does he accidentally kill him? Or
yes.
He dies. He He accidentally kills him.
And total accident, but yes, he does die.
Yes, he does die. And what happens is he later his was Grilka supposed to be his wife?
Yes, Grilka. Okay. Well, yeah, she does become his wife later. Yeah.
Well, no. The guy that died was he?
Oh yeah, so that
brother?
Okay. I think that was Grilka. Well, I think that he was Grilka's mate. I'm pretty sure if I remember.
Whatever. Yeah. Grilka is in his family somehow. And Grilka, I believe, is the last remaining member of the house.
Yeah.
And so because technical Klingon stuff. Bro didn't die heroically. And yeah, so like the house doesn't get stuff that it would get if he had died heroically. There's specifics to this, but I don't remember. So obviously Grilka is like, well, clearly the correct answer to this guy's causing me so much trouble. In order to be situated for a little bit, because she can't be the head of the household because misogyny, she marries Quark, and Quark becomes the head of a Klingon household, and shenanigans ensue.
Yeah, I was gonna say the technicals were that she can't be the head of a Klingon household under normal circumstances, under like an accidental death or something like this. She would be able to take special dispensation and save the household. However, because the guy's brother comes to him and talks him into doing this, and because guy's brother is trying to take over the house, he comes to him and talks Worf into saying that it was honorable combat.
Yeah, that's
so Quark takes full credit for it. Worf's not in this one yet, but like. He takes full credit for it, and it's honorable combat. And because it's honorable combat, she can't take special dispensation. So to save the house, they kidnap Quark, and she marries him to put him in charge.
I'm sorry, guys. I said literally the opposite of how it works.
No,
but it's a nifty episode.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm very into it.
I love that they do pretty much a comedy Klingon episode. I love putting Quark as the main character in your Klingon episode.
Yes!
I love the Worf Deep Space Nine Klingon stuff, but I kind of miss these off-ball weird episodes where they just find a random Deep Space Nine character and force them into a Klingon story.
Yeah.
And it works amazingly well. And I really, really enjoy this one. Actually, also, Lindsay, thoughts? Oh, wait. Let Ashley, final thought.
I really like Grilka. That's all I have to say.
Grilka's great. Lindsay.
Yeah. No, I too also very much adore Grilka. This is just such a fun episode. It starts off so simply with them just bored in the bar, and it just spirals out of control. And I love Quark like trying to take advantage of like, I killed a Klingon in here. Yes. Like driving up sales for some reason. I am into all of that. I like how the one guy shows up and it's like, if it was an honorable death, it'd be one thing. But if it was an accident, it'd be another thing. And then Grilka shows up and says the opposite. So it's just a total comedy of errors. This is like just Shakespearean comedy right here. I really like this episode. And Armin Shimerman is just so fucking good.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what your guys' votes would be, but as much as I like Blood Oath, I actually like this one better. For me, this is an S tier because it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
It is so entertaining. It doesn't have any drag points like Blood Oath does. It's just a fun fucking episode. But what do you guys think?
You are objectively correct.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. Yeah, I'm definitely okay with this.
Okay. Okay, so now we're on to a lesser important one. This is Star Trek Generations. Obviously, the A plot, Soren's trying to cheat time, become immortal, get into the Nexus. B plot, Duras sisters are trying to destroy the Enterprise. And this is the end of the Duras sisters, as well as they're blown up, but they also blow up the Enterprise.
I don't mean to be a hater, but good.
Yeah. So we get the finale of the Duras sisters in this one. This is a Star Trek Generations. This is a movie that I find frustrating more than anything else because there's so many good plot points in this one.
Is this the one?
But it is so undercooked that is frustrating as fuck.
Is this the one where Picard is having flashbacks to his life and he lives in this Victorian he has the most Victorian Christmas imaginable?
Yes, Victorian Christmas in French land where he's from, obviously.
French land.
Right? What? He's outrageously French. It's one of the things that always drove me nuts about Picard. He's just so outrageously French.
It's so wild because it feels like when they were they keep on forgetting. I understand that they have he has a British accent because a lot of the times when you're showing a character that is supposed to be European and they're not from an area that speaks English. So the thing is, if Picard could have had a French accent, but it would have been more difficult to understand him. And so a lot of times you do have characters like that and they'll go, give him a British accent because then we'll understand that he's European, but they'll be able to understand him better. But it's the writers kept on forgetting that he was actually supposed to be French all the time.
Yeah.
And it's I'm telling you, this man is not British.
Lindsay, thoughts?
I mean, I adored this movie when I first saw it as a kid. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I don't think it's aged particularly well, but I do love that the Duras sisters get to join Khan and going from small screen to big screen villains. Good for them.
Yes. Good for them.
It's okay. I'd say it's middle of the road. There's nothing particularly incredible with the Klingons, but I like this is the one where they get control of Geordi's visor, right?
Yeah.
That's super fun.
I mean, say what you will. I mean, this is better than Star Trek V, even though I feel like the Klingons' role is very similar, that they're just kind of there causing menace in the B plot.
Yeah. I will say I'm happy for the Duras sisters. I'm just not happy for me.
No. So and this is in my opinion better than Star Trek V in most every way. But there's for me, again, what frustrates me is just how undercooked this movie is. I feel like if they had just postponed this a year and just developed the script a little bit tighter, this could have been one of the greats because there's so many really good ideas in this movie. But it's just so fucking undercooked and rushed because they want to get our Star Trek movie out in 3 years.
It's unfortunate, but it's. I don't know. It's fine. It's serviceable.
Patrick Stewart gives a killer performance in this movie.
He does.
Holy crap, he commits.
As does Shatner. And what's his name as the villain is also quite good.
Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell. A great Guinan movie. I think this is the only appearance of Guinan in the movies, right?
Is it? I think she's in Nemesis, but I think it's a deleted scene.
Oh, you're right. I
don't know. I don't remember if that's in it or not. I think it's a deleted scene though, but it's very brief in that one. She actually has a role in Star Trek Generations, which is cool. B.
And Comedy Data is okay, but it's there's too much. If you cut back a couple jokes, I think Comedy Data would have hit hard. But
I do love when the Enterprise is crashing and Data just goes, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, that's crashing.
That's awesome. B. Are we going B on this one?
Yeah, B's good.
Yeah, B. Kind of a lower B.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back to Deep Space Nine. We're going to be in Deep Space Nine a lot going forward because they did a lot of Klingon stuff. A lot more than Voyager, by the way.
Yes. I was surprised how little Voyager there was, actually. I thought there was more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of the Klingon stuff in Voyager would best just be B'Elanna Torres episodes, and it's mostly just her fixing stuff.
Yeah,
which is kind of frustrating with B'Elanna Torres. We'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, we're moving ahead here.
What we have here is the soft reboot of Deep Space Nine, which, by the way, I thought season 3 of Deep Space Nine was really one of the best seasons. But season 4 is very good as well, and they do a soft reboot here, kind of just to get new fans on board. Even though me, as a person who was watching the whole time, I was like, "Yeah, let's do this." But this is the introduction of Worf to the crew. The introduction of Martok, which I put down in quotations because.
Oh wait, we didn't.
That's right.
Watch this one today.
No, we watched Apocalypse Rising today.
Okay.
Way of the Warriors, the 90-minute one, kind of the new pilot. We get to see the Federation go to war with the Klingon Empire again after essentially this is going to be unbelievable, guys, when I tell you this. The Klingons think the Cardassians might be working with the Dominion. And because of that, they decide to go to war. And the Federation's like, you just can't go to war. And they end up getting themselves in the middle because the Klingons think the Cardassians might be working with the Dominion.
The conspiracy theorists in the Klingon Empire are working overtime, if you ask me.
Cardassians work with the Dominion, that would never happen. It is kind of wild. So like the Klingons are just such jerks, and they're really pushing for this war. And at the end of the day, they're kind of right, even though we do learn essentially there's changelings in the Klingon Empire who are just kind of pushing for this to just push discord throughout the quadrant. But this is a fantastic kind of reboot for Deep Space Nine. It's a cool Klingon episode. We get to see probably the biggest Klingon battle ever, with Deep Space Nine facing off against probably at least like a few dozen Klingon ships. And we actually get to see the full upgrades they've been doing to Deep Space Nine, so it's battle capable, which is pretty wild. This is a classic episode. I'm trying to think of what to say. I think it's fantastic, though.
So I want to point out a couple of firsts that this episode does. Like you said, first Worf, first Martok, big ones out of the way, or Martok. First, Cisco with a shaved head.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I believe is this the first one with Kira's short hair? I couldn't remember or not. She had short hair before this, right?
I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I believe she had short hair the entire time, basically, except for like the first episode.
Oh, you're right. Okay. So sorry, so too many firsts. But
I think it might have been styled differently, but like it was. I don't think her hair got shorter.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe this was like one of the first ones with that Kira, like that signature Kira. But it doesn't matter. This is an incredible episode. This is definitely one of those ones that you could just show someone who's never seen Star Trek before, and it'll just kind of be like, oh, I might want to watch more of this. I like it starts with them doing like the sweep of the station for Odo. I think this is the first episode with the blood test, is it not?
It might be.
Maybe.
So this is a very pivoting. I'm just gonna stop at that word. This is a great episode. It's a great episode of just Star Trek, of TV in general. I love that it's a 3-parter. I love how it has a really big epic battle at the end. A 2-parter. Sorry.
3-parter.
And it's not like the DS9 is ever going to do a 5-parter or anything like that. So, we don't.
Oh, they definitely want to do a 8-parter. That'd be wild.
It was an 8-parter. You're right. I forgot.
What 8-parter?
The series finale. It's all like I want to say it's like the last 8 episodes are all like multi-part and all leading into each other.
I don't know if we would necessarily call that an 8-parter because they lean into each other.
I believe they all do, and to be continues at the end. They're largely considered a multi-parter.
It's not like an 8-episode run per se, but like it's implied that they're all very connected,
and they're all very much building off each other.
I'm used to like, nowadays you release a TV show and everything's like super like 100% nothing is episodic whatsoever. So you guys are saying that, and I'm like, well, it technically isn't labeled that way. So in my mind, it's just normal episodes.
I love how this. So you got Worf at the end in not the normal TNG uniform, but in the DS9 uniform. Yeah. He looks so fucking good in that uniform. You have like freaking oh my god, Garrick fighting next side by side with Gul Dukat, which is an incredible moment. You have the thing where where Garrick gets beat up by a bunch of Klingons, and they're like, "Garrick, are you okay?" He's like, "Oh, I'm fine." And trust me, I got off some very stinging remarks to those Klingons that they will be remembering for weeks to come. This is peak at DS9. Top 10 episodes of the whole series.
I'm actually trying to. This is also the episode that Garrett calls back to. I want to say in A Call to Arms when they're getting ready to fend the station off from a battle from Gul Dukat, and essentially he says, You know, there was this moment where I was fighting next to Kot and he had his back turned to me and I could have shot him and killed him. And I really thought about it and I chose not to because it'd be tough to fight off all those Klingons without him. And they're like, Garrick, would you really shoot a man in the back? And he's kind of like, yeah, of course. And it's like, will you regret shooting a man in the back? And he's like, I regret not doing it. And by the time we're done with this, I think everybody on the station is going to regret that I didn't do it. It's like, good point.
Oh, is this the root beer episode too?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is.
Because that's
yes, it is. Yeah.
I mean, it's not really Klingon related, but it's like them talking about the Klingon battle and like the Federation and stuff. That's such a good fucking scene. The root beer scene. This episode
that includes this moment.
It's insidious.
Yeah, it does.
The root beer is insidious, by the way.
Such a good clip, and then he's talking about root beer.
Yes, he is. But yeah, that's a great moment between Garrick and Quark, which we don't get a huge number of those throughout. Right? It's fun when we do. Are we going S on this one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really good.
It's insidious.
Can't all be winners though. Next Deep Space Nine one is sort of Kalis. This is it's great.
No.
So I didn't put this in the key watching because it is a big Klingon episode, but it's also forgettable and it doesn't really play a role in anything going forward.
Yeah.
Kor comes back to his station. He talks to Worf and Jadzia to go after the sword of Kalis because he's found it. So they go and they find the sword. And for the rest of the episode, Worf and Kor act like douche nozzles while Jadzia tries to work with them. I do not enjoy this episode at all. If you can tell,
it's okay.
Hold the sword.
I think it's a strong pull into an episode. The sword of Kalis. Let's go get it. Like it's like it's kind of going back to Blood Oath. Like let's go on an epic quest with a bunch of Klingons and Jadzia. It doesn't really pay off as great as that other one does. No. It's okay. I wouldn't put it in D tier, but it's not going above B tier.
I would tell you that I would put it in D tier.
Would you?
Don't enjoy this one. I find them insufferable.
I had zero fun. 0% fun.
This is the episode. This kind of sets up the standard with Worf and Jadzia, which sometimes just drives me up the wall. Where essentially, Jadzia is always. Actually, you brought this up nicely, so why don't you say it?
This is kind of like the thing that bothers me about their relationship. I have no problem with them as a couple hypothetically, but I feel like a lot of times the way their episodes are written, it's like Worf is being a jerk and unreasonable. Jadzia is correct, but like for some, and I feel like a lot of times though, the way it's written, it's like somehow actually like Jadzia's fault, and like she just needs to like work with him better, and like. No, he needs to stop sucking.
Can't Worf just learn from this, please?
She definitely is kind of pigeonholed into being the reasonable one in a situation of two extremely unreasonable characters. That is good. But I mean, I enjoy it because I like Jadzia kind of putting people in their place, but it's still not a good episode. I'm looking for reasons to make it sound less bad than it is. It's not a great episode.
I dislike this one. I will say the beginning is passable, and I love seeing Kor back. But other than that, that's all I can give this one. I find it insufferable. I like throughout all this, I want Jadzia just to murder Worf and Kor and call it a day.
just kill him at this point. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done with these characters. They're insufferable. I don't blame you.
Alternate universe where like we're that's just like the end of Worf's character. Like Jadzia just like kills him.
He's an insufferable douche. So Jadzia kills him. It's like okay, cool. So
they come back and Cisco's like justified.
Lindsay's resistant to D, so I will give this a low C. Sound reasonable?
We can make it the absolute lowest of C. I'm totally fine with, but I just like Kor, and so it's like
I do like Kor, but yeah,
I respect the Kor.
Yeah,
I respect the Kor.
This is not his strongest moment. I'm just saying. Okay, so next we get the return. I think while it's not Tony Todd's final appearance in Star Trek, is the final appearance of Kurn with Sons of Moog. So after the events of Way of Warrior, where essentially Worf has ended up turning his back on the Klingon Empire, they cast him out because he's not willing to fight with the Klingons. He's going to stand with the Federation, who are against the Worf, the Cardassians. Gowron kicks Worf's family out, and what we see is the after effect of Kurn just being like, coming to the station being like, my family's disgraced. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And he's asking Worf for honorable death, where essentially Worf just murders him to end it, which is a very Klingon thing to do. But essentially Worf attempts it and is stopped. Is it by Jadzia who figures out what's going on?
It is, yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah. She
She's
figures
like
out what's going on
across
and
the station.
stops the murder. Yeah. And essentially Sisko's like, the fuck are you doing murdering people on my station? It's like, no, you don't understand the ritual. It's like, I don't care. You can't murder people on the station. This isn't like Reunion where it's like, okay, you weren't supposed to do that, but I kind of get it. This is your brother, bro.
Sisko is like, you know what? I support religious freedom,
Mhm.
but you cannot kill people on the station.
Yeah, fucking be the picky. But this isn't one of my favorites, but it's not bad either. I think this is totally decent. I like seeing Tony Todd back. I like them trying to figure out a way to give him an ending without him killing himself, because he seems really dedicated on that. And I do appreciate that they come up with a way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is decent. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think it's fine. Respect.
I would like it a lot more if it wasn't for the ending. I like Kurn. Oh my god, Kurn. Thank you. Being lost, not really having a direction, trying to kind of figure it out. I like in fiction when a character who really knew who they were and had a really defined goal in life loses all that and has to redefine themselves. So I'm into that aspect of it all. It's just such a weird way to end the episode, and the fact that we're supposed to view it as a kindness, I guess, is it's just very weird to me.
Actually, I will tell you.
Taste in the mouth.
Well, I think I'm not as negative as the end of the ending as you are. I think it is an ending that's asking for an eventual follow up that never happens, which I would say is an issue.
That's fair.
I feel like they need to follow up on that at some point, and at least when Worf gets the honor back with the Klingon Empire, they need to follow up on this in some way.
Or personally putting Michael Dorn into another project.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it was kind of not a loose end. Isn't quite right, but I feel like it was something that needed to be addressed later, especially when things get more resolved with the Klingon Empire. But I mean, I don't think this is bad. This is B, maybe. B is getting pretty loaded, but I feel like this is another solid B in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd say towards the bottom of B, but B's okay. But it really is just that ending. I love when he's working with Odo and he's being really good at it. He's
being a security officer. Yeah,
that's perfect. I love that. He's growing as a character. He's trying something new, but I don't know. It's that mouth feel it leaves me with. It's just weird, but it is a good episode. Tony Todd's great. Worf's great. Go ahead. Yeah.
This is the only appearance of Kurn in Deep Space Nine, which is a little bit disappointing because Kurn's. I would like more Kurn, which is also why I was like, I would like to see more of it, more of a follow up to this. But yeah, it's fine in my opinion. Next up, this was not on the list, but this is the trial episode, Rules of Engagement, where Worf is accused of blowing up a whole bunch of Klingon civilians during a battle.
Mm-hmm.
And Worf is pretty confident he didn't do it, that there's something up, but at the same time, he did fire on it. So, something's, he did blow up the people. This was on the list. Does anybody remember this one?
Not really. How does it turn out? He did fire, but it wasn't actually civilians that died or something like that? Or what was the twist again?
Actually,
I remember it a little bit. I don't know, something happened. He was actually okay the whole time.
So I will yes. So what happened was they Worf fired on a decloaking ship in the middle of battle because he just assumed, decloaking, it's a Klingon fire. Ended up being this ship with a whole bunch of refugees on it. Now here's the issue. And what they find out is that all these refugees went on the ship and died in the battle here. But what they find out that's interesting is that a few months earlier, that exact same crew went on to a different ship and died earlier. And they're like, okay, how did this work? And it turns out it's all just a frame job to try to discredit Worf. And like, you fucked up. Now you're fucked. And essentially they're able to prove it's not true. Although Cisco does kind of give Worf a talking to, where it's like, the fact that you weren't 100% sure what you were firing on is an issue, Worf. You cannot just fire on that ship. You'd be like, oh, it's decloaking fire. You can't just. I'm sorry. Part of our job is that it's risky to just wait and see what the ship is, but that's part of the risk we do when we do this job. We don't fire on civilians. We just don't. And the fact that you didn't know you weren't is an issue. This is I want to look up who directed this, because this episode actually does some cool stuff when we're actually doing the flashbacks, where you have where we see essentially you have the flashbacks where you see the events, and then you see like the character in the flashback just kind of pause and start giving their testimony during the flashback, which I think is a really interesting way to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of a Rashomon episode, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I like what they do with that. Overall, I don't like the episode's fine. Like I like it. I didn't put it as a primary one because it doesn't really explore Klingon stuff massively, other than Klingons are trying to frame Worf. But it's not a bad episode. It's directed by LeVar Burton, who honestly does a great job directing lots of Star Trek episodes. So that's not shocking.
Well, I've never heard of him before.
Who? What? Directed by Geordi? The fuck? But yeah, I don't like, this isn't one of my favorites, but is really well directed. I like how it's executed. I think LeVar Burton does a great job on that.
Honestly, LeVar Burton's a good director.
He is a really good director. I'm torn on low A or high B on this one. Maybe low A, because it's a decent episode, but it's not mind-blowing or anything.
Yeah, sure.
It's not one of my favorites, but it's decent. It's solid. It's better than most B's, I would say. Okay, so this one very much was on the list. So Apocalypse Rising.
Oh, yeah.
Odo gets a secret information that the Gowron has been replaced with a shapeshifter, a changeling, and that's why the Klingons are so hard up on this war. So, and this is the funnest aspect, Worf goes undercover along with Cisco, Odo, and O'Brien, all designed to look like Klingons, which that's awesome. Seeing all of them in Klingon makeup,
100%.
Klingon, and them learning to be Klingon. Essentially, Worf has to teach them how to act Klingon because they're going to this big festival and they have very little time. Their mission is to expose Gowron as a shapeshifter. And immediately it's brought up, okay, the easiest way to expose him as a shapeshifter is to kill him. And when he dies, he reverts to his shapeshifter form. They're like, okay, we don't want to kill him. But but they have this secret techno device that they have to put in 4 corners around the room. And then once they activate it, a shapeshifter will be forced to revert to their shapeshifter form for a brief period. And it's all this uber complex techno babble stuff. They have to get all set up. And one of the things I actually enjoy about this episode is that they're doing all this goofy techno babble stuff, and it all goes nowhere. I mean, I kind of love how often Deep Space Nine does the techno babble stuff from TNG that you expect to go that way, but it turns out they can't rely on the techno babble at all. They just have to figure out a way to actually do it, you know? And Deep Space Nine, I love it when it takes that route, which is absolutely what it does here. So the techno babble thing doesn't work. And they're like, okay, so Worf ends up in a fight with Gowron in an attempt to prove that he's a shapeshifter. And throughout this, they've been talking to Martok, who's been kind of helping them. And that's when Odo goes, hey, you're sus as fuck. Because I was saying we were introduced to Martok, and I was putting in quotations, because Martok's the changeling, and that's what we find out in this one.
Yep.
We've actually never met Martok in the series yet. He's just been a shapeshifter, all we've seen.
I know. I remember when we were rewatching Deep Space Nine and Martok first showed up. I was like, why is he cringe?
Yeah, why does Martok suck? And it's like, yeah.
I thought I liked this guy.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. Now he sucks. What the hell? Yeah, he relaxes later. Trust me.
It's also really funny to me that this is the episode that kind of pays off. I think it's Cisco's dad who says, like, you think changelings couldn't think to just kill a guy and suck up all their blood up inside of them and then just put it out when so it's like, that's because that's before this, right? Because I'm pretty sure earlier in the timeline that happens.
I think that's before this. I think that's season 4 when they talk about that. Yeah.
So I mean that's just fun. This is a clever episode, and Miles O'Brien as a Klingon is great. So
yeah, Odo and Miles really don't fit in well. They really have to put on a show. Cisco kind of is okay, but even he gets the technicalities wrong, and Worf points out, did you mean to challenge me to death? And Cisco's like, of course not. It's like, okay, don't hit me with the back of your hand then. A tier on this one. I think it's fun. I like this.
I'm down for that. I'm into that.
A tier, solid A tier.
Let's go.
Somewhere around there, I think.
There we go.
Okay, so was this one on the list? Looking for the Parmok in all the wrong places.
I've watched it many times.
This is a fun one. This is a Cyrano de Bergerac Star Trek, which I thoroughly enjoy. The return of Grilka too.
My goat is back yet again.
So Grilka comes back. Quark's like, oh, she's hot, and I want to hook up with her. I never thought about, but I do really want to hook up with her. And Grilka's awesome, so I get it. And then, but unfortunately, Worf is like, wow, what a woman. I want to hook up with her too. But, they don't say this to each other. And Quark's like, hey, Worf, can you give me advice on how to hook up with her? And he's like, what? And then eventually, he does end up giving him advice. And working with him on that advice is Jadzia. Working with Worf on the advice is Jadzia. And this is the episode where Grilka and Quark end up hooking up, but also Jadzia and Worf end up hooking up. It's a really fun romance done Cyrano de Bergerac style. I enjoy this. This is a fun one. What are you guys' thoughts though?
I like it.
This is a very cute episode.
Yeah. This is so much fun. Yeah, and I think this is only her second and last appearance, but I do like Grilka as a character, so it is cool to see her back. And I do kind of like her and Quark as a couple, even though like they weren't really a couple in House of Quark, but like seeing them actually become a couple, it's like, this is kind of cool. And Quark gets the shit kicked out of him, but he is happy.
I gotta say, Quark is like way out of his league, but I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he is living his dream, A tier.
Yeah, you know what? I'm into that. I love Bashir's not my favorite character, but he has that moment at the end where everyone's beat up from having violent sex, and he's just like, I'm not asking. Like it's a fun episode.
All right, so back to another one that I'm pretty confident wasn't on the list. So Nor the Battle to the Strong. Even though the Klingon War is at a ceasefire, there still are Federation colonies dealing with the Klingons that are, and still kind of at war. So even though the war is technically over, there still are battles going on. Jake Cisco ends up in one of them and wants to be a reporter, ends up way over his head. The Klingons are just almost like the background bad guys, and they're really menacing, but like there's no Klingon characters I think we ever explore or anything in this. It just looking at the effects of a battlefield. So as a Klingon episode, but as like a drama where Jay Sisko's really thrown over his head, I think it's pretty good. Do you guys remember this one? Any thoughts?
I do. I think Jake's little moment in the foxhole with the guy who's dying is great.
Yeah.
It's just it's Jake really grows in this character a lot in this episode, and you really kind of see like the kind of black humor that people need to deal with in order to try and survive encounters and wars like this. And fun fact, I had completely forgotten about this episode. My family friend, who I'll be talking about later, is in this episode, but as a human. She's one of the doctors. Later, she will not be a human, but she's just one of the doctors there with Odo and not Odo with Jake and Bashir, and it's a very simple episode. It's mostly just in that cave. But it's very powerful and memorable because you're watching people trying to do basically the impossible, trying to keep people alive in a war zone. It's effective.
I almost want to say this is a wild episode because it's not one that I enjoy watching, but it's not because it's bad. It's because it really takes you to a dark place and kind of makes you sit there for a while. And
it's heavy.
So it's not a fun episode to watch, but it's That's almost kind of the point of the episode. So I feel like A.
Yeah, definite strong A.
Ashling, anything you wanted to add?
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool that she played a doctor.
Mm.
I feel like it would be fun to have like just like some random role on Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah.
I just, like that one guy who like shows up, like he has like literally he's in like 2 scenes in Deep Space Nine, and he just like he's the guy that gets like taken out by like the Vulcan that hates people smiling. But like when he's there, he gets hyped up so much by the entire. I want to be that guy. I get hyped up so much, and then I just get killed by like some random idiot.
All right. So next up, the I guess we already had a sequel of Trouble of Tribbles with more troubles, but like here's the other sequel to Trouble of Tribbles, Trials and Tribulations. Has the fantastic moment where I cut it up in the intro where like you have the Deep Space Nine crew looking around on going over the story. The Deep Space Nine crew gets thrown back in time into the situation of Trouble of Tribbles. So, fun fact: when you're watching Trouble of Tribbles, Deep Space Nine crew was there the whole time. That's canon.
Yes.
They're in their original series outfits, playing the role, and they're looking for a bomb because one of the Tribbles is a bomb, and they're trying to figure out which one it could be. Because the guy who was undercover as a human who was actually a Klingon in Trouble of Tribbles. That actor comes back here, and he's the main villain, which fun bringing him back. I do like how Deep Space Nine brings back original series people, probably more than anything else. But yeah, they're undercover trying to find this bomb. This is kind of wild. So this one uses lots of clips from Trouble of Tribbles, which is a great episode. But like, as much as I enjoy Trouble of Tribbles, and this one just involves so many clips and is so many callbacks, it does so many things I would usually get annoyed with, but like it works so well here that I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yes.
To the point where I actually enjoy this more than Trouble of Tribbles. Is that blasphemy? Is that blasphemy?
You're definitely going to hell. But
yeah, what do you guys think?
You're objectively correct, Father, and we are going to hell together.
Okay.
There's no place in Stovacor for us. But yeah. This is definitely an S tier to me. It's so good. Honestly, like I feel like normally it's like, oh, they're just gonna do a bunch of original series stuff, whatever. But they're so fun and goofy about it that I'm just like, yeah. Like they're so. Remember, like the plot point where Bashir thinks that he needs to get with his old grandma, or else he won't be bored.
Yes, he thinks his grandma's on the ship, and he thinks he's his grandfather because they never knew his grandfather, and she obviously is making a very, very overt pass at him, and it's like, oh my god. And O'Brien's like, I am not having this conversation right now. We are not fucking doing this. Okay, but if I'm never born, I want to see the look on your face when you see I've never been born. And O'Brien's like, yeah, sure.
We're just gonna have to live with that.
Yeah, we will live with it, okay, buddy?
I also love the moment where they can't figure out how to work the turbo lift because it's just technology is just different.
And Bashir just immediately just starts like taking apart the wall.
O'Brien. Yeah, they're having trouble with the turbo lift. So O'Brien's like, let's tear it apart and figure out how it works. Fix it.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, you're just supposed to grab the handle. He's like, oh, I knew that. Lindsay, thoughts?
This episode's magic. I've said it before and I'll say it again on the show. Like I know how it's done. It's like you shoot against the green screen, you superimpose in later, and you find shots where there's lingering, and you use probably a lot of B-roll from the episode that never made the final cut. But it's still magic, man. It's like it's just going Kirk, shake hands. Just going Kirk, shake hands. That's so cool. I love the moment where they're like trying to find the tribble that's a bomb, and so they're scanning every tribble individually, and there's literally millions of them. I adore this episode. One of my favorite Star Trek episodes of all time. I love that they call out the original, like, oh, why do Klingons look different now? We don't like to talk about it.
Yeah,
I love how
which is, by the way, where they should have left it. We'll get to more of that later, but I think that was the perfect way to leave it.
I agree. I feel like other episodes kind of bumbled what was otherwise kind of perfect, but we're not going there. I love that Dax wants to just sleep with everybody while Bashir's having his existential crisis of whether or not if he doesn't sleep with someone.
She doesn't want to sleep with everybody, just Spock.
Just Spock. Well, doesn't she have a thing for McCoy too? She says he was very good with his hands. You can tell
no, it's very much implied that she did sleep with McCoy.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, because she's like, oh yeah, he's good with his hands, and Locke's just like, what the fuck did you just say? So, are we going S tier on this one? Because I would go S tier on this one because oh my god, it's so.
This is almost Galaxy Quest tier, so just saying.
It's so good. Okay, so now we got a two-parter, and Deep Space Nine love to do their two-parters by different title. In Purgatory Shadow by Inferno's Light. This is the two-parter where Worf is kidnapped by the Jem'Hadar. Worf and Garrick, which, by the way, I love them pairing. We don't see that too much, but I love the Worf-Garrick pairing.
Yeah.
They're kidnapped by the Jem'Hadar, where they get, this is the introduction of real Martok in the prison camp. So they get thrown to the prison camp along with Nabrantane and Bashir, who, by the way, they didn't even know was missing. Uh-oh.
I'd really like, though, knowing that, like, we've just had, like, changeling Bashir for like a month.
And they talk about when it was supposed to happen, and apparently Alexander Siddig knew about it, so he played it differently. And when you rewatch those episodes, it's subtle, but you can see there's like a bit more coldness with Bashir in those performances in those episodes leading up to this that it's easy to overlook. But yeah, there's kind of a coldness to him that you miss.
In this one, though, it's definitely more intense. Or whatever, he just like pulls a gun on Garrick.
Yeah, right at the beginning. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
It's kind of wild because Garrick's always doing some sus stuff, and Bashir's never just been like, "Hi, buddy,"
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you about this.
But yeah, I think this is probably an S tier for me. But I love this one. For me, this is mainly just. We get to see the contrast for the Klingon aspect. We get to see the contrast between Klingon and Jem'Hadar and how much they respect each other, even though the Jem'Hadar are like, decade, we're going to prove ourselves better than you. And how Worf is just like, fuck no, you're not. I'm going to keep on going. And even after everybody's like, stand down, he's like, no, I'm not standing down. Fucking great moment for Worf. Everybody's thoughts before I go to my ranking, because I usually do that way too early. But your guys' thoughts?
I'd put this one in S. It's very good.
But what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that it's very good, and I would put it in S.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It is really good. I think that like there's so many like good moments in this. Like I know doesn't like Garrick re-meet, God, I forget his name. His stinky father.
Oh yeah, Nabrantane.
Nabrantane, yes, Nabrantane. I was like his stinky dad.
By the way, I believe I looked it up recently, and the actor is very, very old, but he is still alive. Last I saw.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah,
we have like that, and I think we introduce his claustrophobia.
Yes.
We have like the thing where like Worf is like sparring a bunch, and really struggling.
This is also the episode where
there's so many good things about it.
This is also the episode where Cardassia officially joins the Dominion.
Yep.
And like I love Kira's response where essentially she's talking to Kot and she's like, yeah, I'm joining the Dominion, and her immediate response is lock phasers, open fire. Like she's like, I'm murdering you right now. And it's like he's out of range, and she's like, fuck. But like, yeah, she's like, I'm so fucking murdering you right now. I'm so done with your shit. Lindsay, thoughts?
It's a great Garrick episode, and Garrick and Worf don't get enough time together, I think.
Yeah.
So I really like the two of them going on little quests together. I love obviously meeting the real Martok is great, but like their relationship as Worf's just getting the crap beat out of him is really good. this is the good stuff when it comes to DS9, and I know there's a lot of good stuff with DS9, but I the whole thing about defeating the Bashir changeling that before he blows up the sun is a fun little chase, and they kind of warp in and just get him and get out. Like this is a very good episode, and I love Garrick's relationship with Anabra and Tane. I know we're here to talk about Klingons, but Garrick is just always a scene stealer, and he and his dad have this weird freaking relationship, and he just wants his dad for one time to just acknowledge him and say he did a good job and he loves him. And it's just some real shit, man. It's a really, really good episode.
S tier?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to say, I really enjoy when you're watching Star Trek and you get something that centers primarily upon the aliens with extensive face makeup, because it feels like you're like actually in space.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And,
is this the first episode with a Breen in it?
It might be. I know the Breen are referenced in TNG, but this might be the first time where we see them, because I don't think we see them before this.
You know, I don't care what the Breen are supposed to look like, because in my head they're just all like Neil Breen.
Yes.
Every time we talk about the Breen, the Breen of Conquered another area, I just imagine, you know, like that one clip of Neil Breen where he's like badly edited over to be like on top of the building and he jumps from the building and the building explodes. That's what I imagine it is.
Real quick, I know we were talking about the emotions of Garrick and Anabra and Tane. I also want to talk about like the moment that kind of stirs emotions in me is just Worf just not giving up the fight. The other Jem'Hadar literally, like Worf is on the ground, barely able to stand. The other Jem'Hadar says, "I yield," and the response is, "Wait, you know, you can kill him." And he's like, "Yeah, I can kill him, but I can't defeat him, so I don't care. I yield." It's like, damn,
got him.
So yeah, I think it's an S tier. It's a great two-parter.
Lovely, excellent.
Going back into more standard Klingon episode format here. Soldiers of the Empire. Martok has his own ship, but like his crew has just been constantly defeated by the Dominion. They're not doing well. They're really demoralized. Jadzia and Worf join the crew. Worf is the first officer, and Jadzia is kind of just more the person in the talking with the other crew. She's learning about how the crew is just demoralized as fuck. They need a victory. Martok's not willing to take a risk to get a victory, and Worf kind of has to take command and kind of remind Martok, yeah, you kind of have to take chances sometime. This is decent. It's not one of my favorites, but what are you guys' thoughts?
It's fine. Put it in B, I say.
What do you think, Lindsay?
I quite like this episode. We're talking about Klingon singing earlier. I love how this episode ends with the crew singing whatever that song is as the ship is just like flying off. And
that's true. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
I love this episode, and it pays off something from the last one we just talked about, where like Worf was almost looking to die, but then Martok saves him, and now Worf does the same thing for Martok. It's just well written, it's fun, and I like how Jadzia becomes friendly with the Klingon lady on the ship, so you know they get kind of like a little gal pal thing going on. There's a lot of very cute moments in this episode that's just really fun.
I think you like it more than I do. That being said, yeah, I don't know if it quite deserves B, maybe low A. Sure. Can we live low A on this one?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, so next one up is Sons and Daughters. Man, this is a lot of episodes, by the way.
No, I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, man, we're gonna be here all night.
We got a minute left. We've gone through most of them, but we've got a minute. Sons and Daughters, and we haven't gotten to our favorite Klingon characters yet. Sons and Daughters. This is part of the 7-parter, if we're counting the season finale. Yes. 7-parter, where Deep Space Nine is under occupation of the Dominion. And this, I feel like I say A plot and B plot, but I feel like they're kind of equal plots. But just for the sake of separating them, I'll say the A plot is Dukat and Kira and Zial. And the B plot is Worf and Alexander. This is the first of 2 appearances from Alexander in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Alexander in TNG, I actually think Deep Space Nine does him an incredible disservice. because I find him insufferable in this episode. He is like, he wants to be a Klingon warrior, but he doesn't seem to really actually care about being a Klingon warrior. So like he's acting like he does, but then he keeps on doing the dumbest shit you can imagine, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? I will actually admit, of this 7-parter of the Dominion occupation of the station, which I love that multi-parter. This is definitely the low point of that multi-parter, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's I think my favorite moment is the moment when Kira kind of realizes, like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like she almost gets wrapped up in it all.
For what it's worth, I do think the Kira Dukat Zial storyline is much better handled than the Worf Alexander one, which I feel is a low point.
The Kira Dukat Zial storyline is very good, but I shan't speak because we're already like, my thing is, every now and then we're doing something and I'm like, oh, I have an interesting point I'd like to make, and I'm like, but think about it. We have like, goodness gracious.
Don't be afraid.
We have like 28 episodes left, and we're not even going to be quite done after that. And we're 2 hours and 44 minutes in. Like,
well, I mean, do we want to call this into a 2-parter? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little tired too. But
I mean, we could. What if we like? I mean, we could a 2-parter would be fine. But this is about the length of, I think, the last episode that we've already covered.
Yeah.
We still have a bunch more to go.
And we knew we were going into a lot here. Actually, do we want to hang on a little bit longer and wrap up Deep Space Nine?
Yeah.
And then we can go into Barge of the Dead for the next one, and then also rank our favorite Klingons.
Sure. Yeah. That's. I'm totally
We're deciding this
that,
live. Yeah. So let's do a couple more, and then yeah. So,
hi, Big Jerry. You showed up just in time for us to decide that we were not going to do the entire thing.
Dude, we got a while left. It's like, man, this is a decent sized list. Anyways, sons and daughters. I won't put in D, but I think C.
Yeah, it's fine.
A high C maybe, because I do like the Dukat Kira stuff, but unfortunately we're more talking about the Klingon stuff, and I really don't like the Alex. I think Deep Space Nine really does Alexander dirty. I'm like, oh man.
Who on Deep Space Nine could hit the high seat?
Yeah, I feel like if they gave him, I apologize. If they gave him another episode or two, maybe I think they could have pulled it off. But he's kind of an afterthought. I do like his scene with Martok, when he's just trying to say, like, I just need a chance to prove myself. And Martok's like, I just gave you one.
Yeah. Martok really tries Alexander, and that's part of what frustrates me with this. It's like, man, everybody's trying to give you a chance, man. And you are just, it's like you say you want this, but then you just fucking suck. Then you
The correct answer is Quark, by the way.
Yeah.
So are we going C on this one?
C's good, yeah. Oh, I also do like the moment where Worf's just like, you locked yourself in. And Alex is just like, yeah. Like, yeah, it's kind of a cute dad-son moment. Like, but it's still just kind of a C episode. Oh.
I need to buy my drink. But anyways.
Oh, man. I know, like,
strategies happening over here. So next.
Let me grab a drink. No, we can't let him do it. Quick, break the entire episode.
I'll let you take. I should have said this before I grab my drink, but I need my drink. I'll let you take lead on this one, Ashley. You are cordially invited. The wedding of Worf and Dax.
I have thoughts on this one.
Oh, I do too. Because this is. Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, oh my god, this has. I like some of the things with the setup with this, but it has a lot of the same issues as It's just like the issues that I have with Worf and Dax's relationship, but just like so exacerbated. Like I made a meme about this episode one time.
Yeah.
It was a really good one. I'll remake it and send it out. But what happens in this one is, so like Worf and Jadzia are gonna get married, right? And so because Worf is, I forget how this happens, but Worf is technically a member of Martok's house.
Yes.
And so as the leading lady of the house, Martok's wife has to like train and personally approve of Jadzia. And Martok's wife sucks. And
just let me cut in really fast, and then you can continue. Worf does join Martok's house, and that happens at the end of Soldiers of the Empire. Martok's like, yeah, that was what you did there. Worf was awesome. You can join my house, essentially.
Okay. Martok's wife sucks.
Yes.
Martok's wife hated his Targ, and Martok's wife just like let his Targ just like wander off away and to never be seen again because of it. But that's a side note. But I'm just to give you an idea of how much Martok's wife sucks.
Yeah.
Martok just like okay. I'm certain she has a name, but to me she's just Martok's evil wife. Martok's evil wife is in lessons with Sorrel.
That sounds right. Yeah, Sorrel. Yeah.
Sorrel, Martok's evil wife, is like preparing Jadzia and just being really, really hard on her because she's not a Klingon, and also because she sucks.
Yeah.
And so like basically what happens is Jadzia at a certain point is just like, you know what, like screw this, like I'm not gonna be treated in this way, and Martok is like, you know, like it's fine, like listen, I love my wife, but she's evil, and honestly, who even cares what she thinks? It's fine. And like but Worf is like, no, we must have a traditional Klingon wedding, which means that Martok's stupid evil wife must approve of you. Jadzia, you're being so selfish right now.
True.
And Jadzia's like, dude, what the heck? And then it all turns out it was Jadzia's fault.
It was the friends we made along the way.
It was the friends we made along the way. Remember, Jadzia takes a break and she goes to like this party basically celebrating the fact that they are going to get married, and like straight up Martok's stupid evil wife comes out and just like attacks her.
Yeah.
Like just pulls a knife on her straight up. And like all of this happens and Worf is like, no, Jadzia. No. Martok's stupid evil wife needs to approve of you. And just like and then it all turns out, and then like then basically like, and it was Jadzia's fault all along, and she needs to respect his wishes about the wedding, and it's like, shut up. This is so stupid. That there are things that I like about this, but it's like the resolution is just like, oh
yeah. It feels like it all wraps up pretty quickly and cleanly. But I mean, I guess it is just supposed to be a comedy episode. That's not really a defense because you get something can be funny and deep and have it insightful all at the same time.
Yeah.
I do like Alexander in this episode. Like, he's really trying.
He is a lot better in this episode than he is in the last one. Oh my god.
Night and day difference. And I like that Jadzia is being like kind of flirty in her Jadzia way with like the Hawaiian fire dancer guy. Like, that felt very in character. I love Odo and Kira kind of patching things up a little bit in this episode. So there's a lot of good things going on, but it's not the strongest. It's kind of just okay.
Yeah, I remember watching this when it aired, and it was the big event, and it was like, oh, Worf and Jadzia's wedding. Oh, it should be all cool. And just watching it and being like, Sorrella's terrible. Also, like, the whole thing feels off because the whole thing does very much feel like Jadzia is objecting because Sorrella's a bitch, but in order to get by, she has to just say, Sorrella, you're right, and play ball, even though she's not right. She's terrible. And like, one thing that even drives me nuts is watching this, and when you rewatch it, there's even a moment where Martok goes to Worf and says, marry her. Yes. And Worf's like, no, I can't if she won't formally join the house. And Martok's pretty much like, listen, man, my wife's a fucking bitch. She's not going to let it happen. Do it anyway. You have my blessing, dude. Go ahead. And Worf's like, no, I have to follow the proper Klingon way. It's like, oh, dude. The head of the house is saying, fuck it, go ahead. And you're still not going to do it? And Jadzia just has to bow to Sorrella, even though Sorrella is being unreasonable, and just go with it. It's like,
I still can't get over the fact that Sorrella just like pulled a knife on Jadzia and got into a physical fight with her with a weapon, and Worf was like, "No, Jadzia, you need to work with her, okay? We need to be in the house. We need to be traditional." Like, dude, she pulled a knife on your fiance, and you're gonna get mad at her for how this is turning out?
Well, that is just Klingon stuff, if you're not pulling out a knife, is it like, are you even flirting? Like, let's be honest here.
I mean, like, listen, if Sorella didn't pull out a knife, it'd be like, do you even care about the future of this family,
So if we're talking about tier ranking, I'm looking at the episodes and thinking where I would line it up. It's definitely not Star Trek V bad. It's not Sword of Kahless bad, in my opinion. It's not Savage Curtain bad. I also don't think it's Heart of Glory good, and I'm not a huge fan of Heart of Glory, but I'm putting it in C, kind of mid-level C. What do you guys think?
Mid-C feels okay. Yeah,
I'm
that
okay
feels
with that.
that's a good spot.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
I want to like it more, too, because I love Worf and Jadzia. I love them both as characters. I like them as a couple, but it doesn't work. Okay, so I'll leave this one up to you guys. Day of Honor was not one on the agenda because it's kind of weird, and if we leave it off and carry it on to next week, you'll see why. Do we want to just go on to once more onto the breach and leave that for next time?
Sure.
Or are you guys familiar with enough? Okay. Because we can all refamiliarize ourselves, and you will see why I left it off the main list. Even though it's one of the few Voyager entries, which doesn't have a whole lot. Once more onto the breach is the penultimate Klingon Deep Space Nine episode. Even though I would say this is actually the final formal Klingon episode, because Tacking into Wind has like 5 different main plots going on, which we'll get into it because it balances them all very well. But there's a lot of stuff going on in this one. This is just a Klingon episode. This is the outro of Kor, where he essentially he's looking for a job. He wants to fight in the war, even though he's old. He wants to get a warrior's death, and there's a war going on. There's a good opportunity for him. Problem is, Martok's like, fuck that Kor guy. Fuck him hard. And it's like, wait. And then they ask Kor, what the fuck happened between you two? And Kor's like, I fucking don't know. I don't know who he is. Like, what? He's like, yeah, Martok fucking hates your guts. And it turns out there was some point where his family was supposed to be up for something, and Kor was the deciding vote against it. Essentially, Kor's reasoning was your family wasn't noble enough blood. And it was like, oof, Kor, bad call. Jesus Christ.
I
kind of get that.
Cringe.
Yeah, he gets cringe sometimes. He totally does. It's kind of part of his charm.
Well, Kor's like your grandpa, you love him, but every now and again he says something that's like, oh, grandpa, it's not 1950, you can't say that anymore.
By the way, Kor is also a trans ally if you take blood oath, so
yes, that's true, actually.
But essentially he's looking for his final battle. Worf kind of forces Martok to bring Kor onto his ship. And Kor kind of goes insane because he's an old man and he thinks they're fighting the Federation. And he's not doing great. But essentially the episode wraps up with him finally having an honorable death and figuring out a way to delay the Dominion so they can, everybody can escape, nice and honorably. So it's an overall, I think it's a very nice episode. It's not perfect, but I think it's a great outro for Kor, in my opinion. It's good. Before I get too far into my full thoughts, guys, open the floor. What do you think?
Epic Kor moment.
Yeah.
I really like that his name is Kor.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yes, it's great. I don't remember this one super duper well, but yes, Kor, and also no Kor. No Kor. But yes, Kor. I support Kor, except for when I don't support Kor.
Except when he's shitting on Martok, man.
Leave Martok alone, buddy.
Wow. No, this is a very good episode, though.
Yeah,
I think my favorite thing is they subtly, not subtly, but they plant small hints that Kor is not really quite right in the head anymore. Like, where am I? What am I doing? And then it just kind of culminates where he doesn't even know what year it is or what battle he's fighting in. It's a really great performance by
John Calicos.
Calicos, yeah. So it's a great send off for him, not just for the character, but just because he's been in Star Trek for like what 30 years at that point.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty cool too, just in of itself. And like the fact that like it's the classic bait and switch where Worf is going to sacrifice himself, but then the old guy's like, nope, I'm going to do it.
That was cool, yeah.
It's just a really powerful, really great episode, and it got some fun visual effects too. They think, I mean, they're very 90s, but they've got that Jem'Hadar station that they're attacking and all that stuff, and it looks pretty good for the era. I really like this episode. This is definitely an S tier for me. I'm gonna have to. I don't know if you could talk me out of it.
I would probably go A tier. I don't know if I'd go S tier.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, A tier.
Okay, I'm gonna go high A tier. I'll put it right behind Blood Oath. How's that sound?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because I do like that one. Okay,
Let's go core.
so we'll go ahead and wrap up Deep Space Nine with Tacking into the Wind, which is a partially Klingon episode. Listen, this isn't the penultimate episode. Penultimate episode is Dogs of War. This is the penultimate episode. It's the episode before the final episode. But one of the storylines here is essentially Gowron is doing a really shitty job leading the war. The war was doing better when he left Martok in charge, but ever since Martok started getting a whole lot of recognition in the Empire, Gowron didn't like it, so he started stepping in and being like, I want the glory. So he started taking charge. Unfortunately, the war effort under him has not been nearly as successful. They've been doing quite poorly. And he's not willing to give up that position because he doesn't want Martok to overshadow him. And even though, and it's even brought up, Martok's like, I don't want to be in Klingon leadership. Gowron can have it. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter to Gowron because you're still overshadowing him. And that becomes a big issue, culminating in a fight to the death between Worf and Gowron, where briefly Worf ends up the leader of the Klingon Empire until he passes it off to Martok. But this is a pretty cool episode. I mean, there's a lot going on in it, but like overall, very, very cool episode. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, I love that Gowron became Chancellor or whatever because of Worf, and then Worf kills him. That's just like a great full circle thing. And the last fight they have was so cool. And it's very Star Trek, very, very choreographed. But like when Worf goes flying through that big glass thing, it's like, oh shit! And then he gets the big stab when he goes for the big. This episode's fun. And there is so much going on. Like the Kira Odo stuff is great, as Odo's just dying, so he can help Kira just a little bit more. But obviously the real showstopper stuff is all the Klingon things, not just because we're talking about it, but just because the idea that Martok is just like the idea of Martok being sent on these suicide missions is so crazy because he's such a great general and such a great character. This episode's amazing.
Are we thinking maybe low A's on this one?
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
It feels fair.
Yeah, we'll put it above Dave the Dove. Okay, so that wraps up the Deep Space Nine stuff, and I actually think that works kind of well. We'll cover the rest of this and also talk about our favorite Klingon characters. There's lots of episodes here we can kind of familiarize ourselves with because, like, I'll be honest, I don't remember Sleeping Dogs. I just watched through all of Enterprise not that long ago. I am brain farting on Sleeping Dogs completely. But yeah, we can get familiar on some of the stuff that wasn't on the primary list that's left, but also do our favorite Klingon characters. Also get a bit more energy. But we do also, like, I think it works out well because I feel like TNG and Deep Space Nine, all the Klingon stuff almost comes together and it's almost kind of like an ongoing storyline because so much of it mixed together and just really every step is a little different thing. Once we get into Voyager, it's almost every Klingon thing is almost just its own story independently. Until we get to the Discovery, which is a whole separate bag of worms, but we'll get to it.
I shan't even.
This is the current list. This is the objectively correct list if you're looking to tier rank this stuff. But yeah, we'll come back probably pretty soon because we're pretty up to date on this stuff. And when we'll have a bit more energy and talk more about Klingons. So keep an eye out for part 2.
It's also limited, like how many episodes we can cover in a single episode.
Yeah, like there are so many on here, and it's like, man, we are still going, aren't we?
I think we learned.
There's so much to talk about.
We learned our limits.
Well, now we know. Okay, if the list is this big, we're gonna do 2 streams instead of a really long one because I think that's better.
Yeah.
Now we know. Lindsay, anything you want to promote going on your channel?
I got a couple of video ideas I want to make. I just saw Lee Cronin's The Mummy last night, and I liked it. But it also felt like it was a script that was meant to be an Exorcist movie, not a mummy movie. So if I can get a coherent thing together about that, I'm going to try and knock that out because that thought's in my head. Like, this doesn't feel like a mummy movie. This feels like this started off as something else, and then someone with money said, "Let's make it a mummy movie." But so look out for that for me.
Intriguing. Yeah, I plan to see that sometime pretty soon. So yeah,
I did like it. Like, I'm not trying to discourage people from seeing it. It's just odd while you're watching it, but you'll see.
Okay. I'm gonna try. As you noticed earlier today, I'm gonna try to get back to doing videos, even if it's just a video a week. I'm busy at work a lot, but I was like, maybe partially because Adobe Premiere went ahead and I was thinking about pushing off paying for Adobe Premiere, but their response was just jack the money from my bank account anyway. And I was like, okay, fine. I guess I'm gonna have Adobe Premiere for a year. I'll go ahead and try to get a video out a week. So that'll be the new thing on the channel. Of course, regular streams. I really feel like I'm becoming more of a streamer than a video guy. But we'll still do the videos as well because more people do watch the videos. But also, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Lindsay's down there. His channel is called My 2 Cents of Nonsense. You should actually go check it out and watch it. And if I think I'll add the link into the channel description, which I should have done when I was setting up. I forgot. Make sure to like and subscribe to anything Ashleen does on YouTube in the future if she chooses to do that. And also like and subscribe to Organized Chaos. We got the podcast coming out on Tuesday where we'll be talking about Mortal Kombat 1995, Star Wars 1977, and yes, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. But that'll be Tuesday. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Party on and be excellent to each other. And you know what? I'm going to go, well, no. Let's just go ahead and do the regular outro.